backers on backers, I'm riding around in a coupe. I take your bitch right from you. Bitch, I'm a dog. Beat that whole walls. Hop in the frog. I tell that bitch don't come for me. Come for me. Ooh. Rain drop, drop, drop top, drop top. Smoking on cookie in the hot box. Fucking on your bitch, she a thot thot. Cooking up dope in the crock pot. Ooh, ooh. I swear these niggas is under me. They hating the devil, keep jumping me. Big bankrolls on me, keep me company. Hey, we do the most. Pull up and ghost, yeah. My diamonds a joke. Holding the fire with no holster. Rig the ruler, diamonds cooler. We came from nothing to something. I don't trust nobody, grip the trigger. We'll call up the gang and they come and get you. Cry me a river, give you a tissue. Oh, it's a rolling, not a mule. Tapping on them like the usual. Magic with the break the voodoo. Courtside with a bad bitch. My bitch is bad and bougie. Cooking a dope with a boozy. Woo. My niggas is savage, ruthless. Ooh, we got 30s and 100 rounds to do. And I send the bitch through Uber. I'm young and rich and plus I'm bougie. I'm not stupid, so I keep the boozy. Rackets on rackets, got backers on backers. So my money making my back ache. You niggas got a low act rate. We from the north, yeah, that way. That cookie blood in the ashtray. Two bitches just national smash day. Hop in the lamb, have a drag race. I let them birds take a bath, babe. Ooh. Rain drop, drop, drop top, drop top. Smoking on cookie in the hot box. Fucking on your bitch, she a thot thot. Cooking up dope in the crock pot. Ooh, ooh. Porn phone dropping mud, outer space keep cutting. Introduce me to your bitch ass wifey and we know she slut. Could break down naughty buddy, now that nigga ducking. Ooh, don't move too fast, I might shoot you. Draco bad and bougie, I'm always hanging with shooters. Might be posted somewhere secluded, private. My bitch is bad and bougie. Cooking up dope with a boozy. Woo. My niggas is savage, ruthless. Ooh, we got 30s and 100 rounds to do. Still be playing with pots and pans. Call me Quavo attitude. Run with that sack, call me booby. When I'm on stage, show me boobies. Ice on my neck, I'm the coolest. Ooh. Call me Quavo Ratatouille. Run with that sack, call me booby. When I'm on stage, show me boobies. Ice on my neck, I'm the coolest. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, that way. Float on the track like a Segway. Yeah, that way. I used to trap on the subway. Yeah, that way. Young nigga trap with the AK. Yeah, that way. Big guy can't get it on, they see back. My bitch is bad and bougie. Cooking up dope with a boozy. My niggas is savage, ruthless, ooh. We got 30s and 100 rounds to do. Rain drop, drop, drop top, drop top. Smoking on cookie in the hot box. Fucking on your bitch, she a thot thot. Cooking up dope in the crock pot. Ooh, ooh. We came from nothing to something. I don't trust nobody, grip the trigger, ooh. Call up the gang and they come and get you. Call me a river, give you a tissue. Ooh. God next up, God next up, ooh. God next up, God next up, ooh. You know, young rich niggas, you know, so we never really had no old money. We got a whole lot of new money though.
Watch me crank it, watch me roll. Crank that soldier boy, it's Superman at home. Crank that soldier boy, crank that soldier boy, crank that soldier boy, crank that soldier boy. Soldier boy off in this hole. Watch me crank it, watch me roll. Watch me crank that soldier boy, the Superman at home. Woo, crank that soldier boy. Crank that soldier boy. Woo, crank that soldier boy. Soldier boy off in his hole. It's the rubber band man. Soldier boy up in his hole. Watch me crank it, watch me roll. Watch me crank that soldier boy, then Superman at home. Yo, crank that soldier boy. Yo, crank that soldier boy. Yo, crank that soldier boy. Watch me do it, watch me do it. Dance, dance, let's get to it, let's get to it. No, you can't do it like me. Go, so don't do it like me. Fuck, I see you trying to do it like me. Man, that shit was ugly. No, you can't do it like me. Go, so don't do it like me. Fuck, I see you trying to do it like me. Man, that shit was ugly. Soldier boy out in his hole. Watch me crank it, watch me roll. Watch me crank that soldier boy. Then Superman that hoe. Crank that soldier boy. Yo. Crank that soldier boy. Yo. Crank that soldier boy. Yo. Crank that soldier boy. Crank that soldier boy. Crank that soldier boy.
It's 2:32 in the morning. We in the booth high in the motherfucker. State gang, the mob, true sippers. We in too deep. It's a lot of motherfucking hating going on, but that ain't shit new. The money still coming, these niggas still hate, these bitches still choosing. I'm in the streets daily, hopping out fresh courtesy of the yayo. Got a knot in my pocket, same side as potatoes. The money still coming, these niggas still hate, these bitches still choosing. I'm in the streets daily, hopping out fresh courtesy of the yayo. Got a knot in my pocket, same side as potatoes. Money gotta shine, so money gotta bubble. You say you icy, but your diamonds looking super cluttered. I look like a star, call me the Big Dipper. I keep a pocket full of faces, paper ain't an issue. Shawty jockin' say look like I'm signed to Def Jam. I'm independent, baby girl, I'm just going ham. She say she love my diamonds, she wanna wear my jewelry. I'm a lottery bitch, call me Stephen Curry. Club pitch black dog, but my chest glowing. I'm kinda cocky, talking shit like I'm Terrell Owens. Amiri Jean, Jordan 12 and a white tee, look like I'm shooting a movie every day. Call me Spike still coming, these niggas still hate, these bitches still choosing. I'm in the streets daily, hopping out fresh courtesy of the yayo. Got a knot in my pocket, same side as potatoes. The money still coming, these niggas still hate, these bitches still choosing. I'm in the streets daily, hopping out fresh courtesy of the yayo. Got a knot in my pocket, same side as potatoes. I'm with a white bitch, same color in my kids. If you got your money right, you get them all white bricks. You can tell a nigga shining, take a look at my wrist. Got them all red diamond like your girl lipstick. I got these hoes sick, I got these hater mad. I'm popping rose bottle, I'm rocking Gucci tag. Got a stupid crazy swag, nothing like you wanna be. Some Texas, they Brazil, 2 for 20 up in Applebee's. I look just like a masterpiece. You should hang me on the wall when she wants some dope dick. I'm the one your bitch can call, getting money all year. Winter, summer, spring, and fall. Nickname Shawty Low, nigga, I done it all. State gang. The money still coming, these niggas still hate, These bitches still choosing. I'm in the streets daily. Hopping out fresh courtesy of the yayo. Got a knot in my pocket, same side and potato. The money still coming. These niggas still hate. These bitches still choosing. I'm in the streets daily. Hopping out fresh courtesy of the yayo. Got a knot in my pocket, same side and potato. Never been a hoe, I stay on go, so with the business. Nigga talking reckless, shoot his bitch ass with the quickness. Now he bleeding, sorry, begging, asking for forgiveness. Bow, 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 Limp Biscuit. All my niggas wildin', they done labeled us some misfits. Wake up every morning, 2 or 3, 5 in the Fitbit. Oh shit, didn't nobody come to see you old. It's some focus, shoot 100 shots, no reloaded. Master of the game, you would think I'm into coded. Memphis niggas spit this pimpin', mackin' like I'm golden. Ho, with my money, you gon' turn me to the old me. Say hi, first class flight, I'm in the nosebleed. Hop it, cook it, whip it, ship it till you count the proceeds. OG, I've been moving pack niggas since 03. Low key, niggas hating but they don't want no beef. State gang, true sippers, bitch, I bet we don't eat. Get jammed, get a lawyer, make it bunny, don't speak. Pour up, I need some more. A nigga had a long week. Shout out to my plug, he showed me love, he out in Long Beach. I'm true geek, walking by myself but left with 2 freaks. Ooh, we nothing in they mouth and on they booty. Austin Power swag, yeah baby, this is groovy. You can call me Money Boy or you can call me Nudie. Hood niggas, churches, chicken, let me get a 2-piece. Top down, 2-seater, let me feel the 2 breathe. Gotta hold it steady, chopper, kick it back like Bruce Lee. Lately I've been in the zone, I guess I'm in my 2-3. Don't call my phone for nothing less than a QP. Feeling like the Migos, cause my bitch is bad and bougie. All my haters love me, all these bitches just some groupies. Came a long way, I like to introduce the new me. Standing on business like I'm king or like I'm Drewski. Call me Ron Island cause I like my lover choosy. When we link it's a movie, she bustin' like a Uzi. I love the way she do me, I beat it up like Uzi. She dancing just like Suki. Call me Ron Island cause I love my lover choosy. When we link it's a movie, she bustin' like a Uzi. I love the way she do me, I beat it up like Uzi. She dancing just like Suki. I never been a hoe, I stay on go, so what the business? Niggas talking reckless, shoot his bitch ass with the quickness. Name pleading, sorry, begging, asking for forgiveness. Bow, 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 Limp Biscuit. Never been a hoe, I stay on go, so what the business? Nigga talking reckless, shoot his bitch ass with the quickness. Name pleading, sorry, begging, asking for forgiveness. Bow, 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 Limp Biscuit. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. How y'all doing? Now, I know what the title say. We gonna do that, but we got questions, damn it. We got questions. As y'all saw my last little live / upload, Marina Live. It sure went live on the Facebook again. Now, it was brought to my attention that in the first video that I put up, she was saying that she couldn't go live on the YouTube. I didn't hear that. But when I did my live today, they were like, where did this come from? I was like, Facebook. And they were like, wait a minute. She said so we wondering, did she get like some community guideline strikes or something? She couldn't go live because the last upload and live was about 8 days ago. 8 days ago. So I'm trying to feel like, did she get a community guide? Yeah, the last live was 8 days ago, and the last upload was like 12. I'm like, so are you hiding? But we're gonna review what we just listened to because some shit don't make sense. She met this young man at 12, and that became her boyfriend. They had a baby and all that shit. But I know in the video that I just heard her say when she was telling this story, she said she didn't know he had a church. How do you not know your boyfriend and your baby dad, a nigga that nutted all up in you and skeeted out his baby? How do you not know he have a church? And he have a church where he was a kid. She is grieving on Facebook. You know, she was trying to tell truth that truth came, but this actually, she's really not grieving. I don't know how she grieving. That's her first husband, and the man was despicable by all means. I don't give a fuck what he was before she found out this nigga touched kids. Once he touched kids, everything else that he did and you thought about him is out the window because he touched kids. But so we got a pastor that touch kids. She tell us about him smoking weed and all of that. It's yeah. I emailed the link though, Gabe, and I just double checked. It's definitely in the outbox. I know I sent it to the guy, so it's in there. Gabe, leave her alone. You wasn't nobody bothering her. She spoke and you said shut up. I don't know why y'all like blowing up the spot. I'm like the most low-key person ever until somebody just actually fuck with me. I don't know if she directly fuck with you. What went on was between her and Mad, so I don't feel no type of way about it. I'm gonna let them grown folk handle what they got going on. But yeah, y'all got to stop blowing up the spot. You could have just ignored her. That's the best way to let a person know you don't fuck with them is if they speak and you don't say nothing. They'll get you don't have to tell them to stop or nothing. They'll just get it. Hey, Truth. So y'all is running amok this week. The state gang, the state gangers is running crazy this week. All of them.
What are you talking about? What happened now?
I don't know what. Well, I know. Well, just right now, it was Leah spoke to Gabe. He told her to shut up while she was ahead, and she said, "What I do?" And he was like, "Just shut up. You're blowing it." And yeah, bruh, I ain't had. Hold up. What the like? Okay, because you've said that more than once. What does me talking about you, Mad, and Room Shaker have to do with Leah? That didn't start any of that. Leah's complaint with whatever Mad and them had going on had nothing to do with me. Total different spot. So how did I have anything to do with that? And as far as Room Shaker being mad, I heard her over there crying on her shit the other day, and I simply went in there and said, "Bro, you play with me all the time. Shut the fuck up." Meant it. I feel some type of way about what? Y'all didn't go together. Yes, y'all didn't go together, but you motherfuckers flirted. How about that? That would be a better way. Y'all flirted enough to where I just said y'all went together. How about that? If that makes it better. But yeah, folk need to move smooth about that bit. Hello, K-Shield, yours truly. And Gabe waiting on Gabe, but we finna listen to I don't know why Cheryl. I don't get why you're on here. Are you still in love with this pedophile? This is gonna be real. Are you keep calling him Lacey and all of that? Are you still in love with this pedophile? Because you doing more than the current wife, and you doing more than the kids and the current kids. This motherfucker said she is gonna document her grieving process with her ex-husband, even though that's the first husband, and then she got married again. But we're gonna listen to that for a hot second. We ain't doing nothing, Mark. That's why I said stop it. That's why I said stop it. I just like stop it. He just if you don't want to speak to her when she say, "Hey, Gabe," just ignore her. Because all the rest of the shit is burning up the spot. It's what it do. Because it's just gonna be a whole bunch of. Because if I hadn't said nothing, they would still be back in the chat just typing, kind of like it was the other night. Ain't about time for that. Man, it ain't shit going on. Never will. He mad in the cut. Okay, let's listen to this shit. But Cheryl, why you ain't on YouTube, Cheryl? We just want to know why you ain't on. Did you get a commune guidelines? And if so, why? What you get a commune guidelines for? And why is there a walker over there in the corner? Like, you ain't got rid of that motherfucker yet? Ain't dude who owned the walker dead? Are you waiting till you get old to use it? Why you have just a walker? And then
Wait
it's
a minute,
open.
that man ain't dead.
Oh, I thought Giles was dead. My bad.
Why are you killing that man?
my bad. I thought he was dead. My bad.
Trey, that man is not dead.
Well, do he still be around?
I don't know. But that man ain't dead.
The walker is just sitting there wide the fuck open. It's just spread open. I'm like, who using the walker? It's not in the closet or nothing. She
Oh
on the
my
couch.
God.
The walker at the end of the couch. I be noticing things.
Well, if you notice things, why you ain't notice that man is not dead, sir? That man ain't dead. You know what?
First of all, I only saw him in the car with her one time, and I don't know. I don't know. I thought he was deceased. My bad. Shit. My bad. I ain't wishing it on him or nothing. I just thought he was. So that explains why she got the walker. So apparently he still be around. So he might be up in there because the walker is looking like it's ready to be pushed to somebody.
Hello, guys.
We got to put this. I'm waiting on Gabe so we can put this on the screen because I have never seen. I didn't know wigs could get matted. I did not know this could happen. I knew weaves could get matted and things of that nature and hair, and I did not know wigs could get matted. That motherfucker's so nasty.
How y'all doing?
And then she keep touching
this camera right. I don't know why it looks so orange.
Cause you orange.
Now my eyes red.
Donald Trump.
This is cutting up.
And she got on the Philly line of lip gloss.
Where y'all at? So anyway, let me do my intro.
Where y'all at?
Because I rarely go live on Facebook.
Let me do my intro.
Let's see if I can mess with this lighting a little bit. Because
it's killing her not to go live.
I wish I didn't have to wear these glasses. Hold on, y'all. Ooh. Don't want to do that. Okay. Let's do it.
Hey, I see you still 16,000 subs and you have yet to get 10 members yet. You still ain't got no dots. I don't see you ain't got no thing where you could, where it appreciate your members, so you still ain't got 10 yet. 16,000 subs, good job. Not even 10 members. Damn. They gotta hurt. So you got a members only section and nobody to watch it. That's fucked up. So you got your twerking videos, the twerking granny videos on members only, and can't nobody see you. Oh.
All right, so my name is Cheryl Grabowski, and welcome to my live. I would love for you guys to interact with my channel, hear my page, because I get the terminology mixed up. Because sometimes, hey, Condra, Michelle, Giles.
They gotta be his kinfolk.
Sometimes Renee Alder is watching. Hi, Renee. Are y'all YouTube folks? So I don't recognize y'all names. So sometimes most of the time I'm on YouTube, and now I'm here on Facebook.
Why you on Facebook? But why though? And the people know you be on Facebook too, because you did this shit for like 7 years before you started doing YouTube. But why aren't you on YouTube? We know you would love to be in front of your audience talking this shit. I'm confused. True? Why is Cheryl sneaking on Facebook? This the second time I done caught her. I guess I didn't. I don't even know how the fuck she.
First of all, that lady ain't got to sneak nowhere. What you mean she's sneaking on Facebook? What does that mean?
She's sneaking on Facebook. She ain't think nobody was gonna.
That woman know that. That woman know that them people watch her over there on Facebook. She knows that.
She thought she was getting away.
No, she know they watch her over there.
Yeah, folks. Let's see. No, I'm on the wrong one. She got about 70 goddamn pages. As I said, I don't even know how. Oh, this is the right one. The collective spirit. Oh, did she come back? Oh no, it's in reels. And she shared something from 10 hours ago, rib tip mukbang. Let's see, what day is this from? Yeah, it's from 2 weeks ago. Why the fuck ain't you on Facebook? Why aren't you on YouTube, ma'am? Okay, could you stop attacking people in the chat? Again, just you can. We're men. We can ignore shit. It's like you looking for trouble, and it's the same thing that you did last night. Now, when we talked earlier, you said you don't remember last night, so I'm pointing out to you right now how you went from Leah to Martin. If you in a bad space, cut the chat off. I tell people that all the time too. You can watch the show and not see what they saying in the chat by simply cutting the chat off. Just hit the X. It'll close it down. But if you just came to be a dick to everybody, like, just stop. I don't even know I'm not saving anybody ass. I'm saying, sir, ain't nobody did shit to you and you going off. It's not, I don't even know if Margie said anything to you. I just see you saying, don't say nothing to me. And I'm like, well, okay. I don't know what, I don't be where y'all be at. I don't be knowing shit that be going on. But if it happened outside of the chat, why is it happening? Why is it taking place over here? If the issues happen somewhere else, why is it unfolding here? Blowing up the spot. Same thing I said Leah was doing the other day, blowing up the spot. You're doing the same thing.
The page and the channel mixed up. So welcome to my page. If you guys would thumbs up
hey,
the
my white friend
on your way
through.
in. And so I want to talk. I want to talk about what's going on in my life. I'm a content creator.
Oh, shit. I don't even think I played the drop for that. That was from the oh shit. So now that I forgot that the super chat is up there with Margie when the Leah and Gabe thing started. Margie sent the super chat that said, we not finna do this shit. Let's move the fuck on, please. Now, I don't know. Or I'm guessing, I think she was talking in general, but Gabe may have thought she was talking to him. Either way it goes, it's not that serious. Thank you for the super chat, though.
You can't meet the threshold. You cannot meet the threshold. Nigga, meet the motherfucking threshold, nigga. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about meeting the threshold.
Talking about my personal life, and I also teach on narcissistic abuse. I'm a spiritual woman. I'm a
pastor. Introducing herself to Facebook again, even though she's been on Facebook for 7 years.
I don't care how long it take to get it out back. All my niggas outside, steak, bitch, we out back.
Woman. I am very empathic and intuitive. I'm a truth teller. Okay? Listen, if any of y'all know anything about being a truth teller, you're going to go through some things in your life because people don't want you to speak the truth. They'd rather. Okay. Hey.
She a truth teller now. The lady that told y'all that her channel was under attack, she was being struck, videos had come down. It's saying she's a truth teller now? Wait a minute. What world are we living in?
How you pronounce, is it Condra or Sandra Giles? Which one is it? Did I say it right the first time? Cause girl, I need to follow you back.
Stay reading the goddamn comments.
So thank you for letting me know who you are. But I'm a truth teller, and yes, I do love mukbangs because I'm a foodie. But let me tell you, listen, girl, let me tell you, I've gone 5 days without meat, and look at my face. Can you see it?
Who believes she'd have been 5 days without meat? Who believes this happened? Because I don't. I damn sure don't. 5 days without meat.
Oh my God, and my body is changing. But I'll show you all of that when I get back to YouTube. I'll show you all of that.
When you get back, where you going? Cheryl, why are you not on YouTube? Did you get a community guideline strike mail? It's because it's the last video was 8 days. You only one community guideline only gets you for 7.
5 days without meat, and look at my face. Can you see it?
No, because
my God, and my body is.
No, we can't see your face because it's caked in makeup. How the fuck we supposed to see anything?
But I'll show you all of that when I get back to YouTube. I'll show you all of that. But
hold up, I got to put this big dry ass wig up. Y'all just hold on. Oh well, this is clear as it get, huh? Let's see here. There we go. All right, it's in there. And this is, if y'all synced, I'm sure, I don't know if y'all saw it or not. Brand. Where am I? I don't want to, overlay. Like, what the fuck? I had a brain fart right there, y'all. My bad. Still no Q sighting. I looked. I ain't seen what she had. Was she active on her IG stories, being shady as fuck? But don't nobody care about that. If it ain't directed, it ain't respected. Can't handle the truth. Said it's quiet over here. Shout out to the 8 people on Petticoat. Shout out to the 30 people on MoneyBoy Trade. I probably should have cropped it, but yeah, that's what we're looking at. Y'all can see how dry that wig is. She a truth teller.
Thank you so much for the condolences. Thank you. Being a
we finna catch you in some lies, truth teller.
Teller has cost me a lot. Okay. People wonder, say Cheryl is people say things about me. And this is the biggest thing about being a truth teller. The biggest thing about being a truth teller is if you are speaking the truth, which lots of people don't like it when you speak the truth, because
I was a truth teller when I said I believe you were paranoid, and when I said when nobody attacking your channel. I was telling the truth, and you came out here and launched a full-out assault on me, ma'am. Do you not remember this shit?
If what you're saying is true, then it can put them in a bad light, or it can make them be ashamed. They might be experiencing shame, or all of the things that people experience. Being a truth teller is a person who speaks on the pink elephant in the room. So I've been speaking on pink elephants for years, and I'm not about to stop doing that. My intentions is to speak.
She still got that evil laugh. There was nothing funny said, so I don't know why she was laughing. I'm starting to think that's like a tick with black women. They just be laughing at her just for no reason, mid-sentence. Ha, 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 ha. She's not the only one I know that's doing it. And they don't be saying one damn joke.
The truth, no matter what, and especially when it comes to me. Not speaking other people's truths, but mine. My perspective, my interaction, what I've gone through, what I felt like, what has been done, and all of those things. So this live here on YouTube today.
You're on Facebook, old woman. You're old. Joe Biden, you on Facebook, not YouTube.
I am going to speak on
yeah, she don't know where the fuck she at. She does not know where the fuck she at.
No, wait a minute. I lost my damn breath for a minute. Did you call that woman Joe Biden? You know what?
She just truth. The woman said so. This live here on YouTube. She knows she on Facebook. She old.
On in my life as it pertains to Lacey Jones passing away.
I got
people truths, but mine. You know, my perspective, my interaction, what I've gone through, what I felt like, what has been done, and all of those things. So
you ain't gonna tell these people Lacey Jones is a Chester child molester.
I'm not gonna listen. I'm not gonna say much when it comes to this because if did nobody think something was wrong with this chick before now, you got to know is that something's wrong. Look, I just want to say this. I just want to say how disrespectful that this woman is. First of all, let's put the disrespect aside. Disgusting that she would even sit up and express any feelings, any thoughts, or anything to this man. No. And God rest his soul, honey, honestly. Like I'm not speaking. I'm not
God
speaking
rest
on
his soul in hell. God rest his soul in hell.
I'm not gonna do that. But listen, let me say this. This man violated her blood family member. This man, she was related to this man through marriage. This man violated her blood family member. And for her not only still have romantic feelings or whatever towards him, but to come out and actually speak it, that's for number one. For number two, how disrespect that man. That man has a wife, and she's sitting up here on social media speaking as if not only she was still in love with him, but she the wife.
Yep.
If man, listen, if Despicable was a person, she has violated in so many ways, and I can't. That woman ain't. Listen, I'm going on mute.
Yeah, she's a piece of work.
Live here on YouTube today.
Facebook.
I am going to speak on what's going on in my life as it pertains to Lacey Jones.
What the fuck is going on in your life, bitch? That's your ex-husband. You remarried after him. You had a whole husband in between you, so the feelings is still there. Like you supposed to be like Julio at this nigga grave, pissing on it and some more shit. You was supposed to be disrespecting Lacey. Now she telling us she gonna document her grieving process or whatever the fuck she got going on with Lacey. She remembering the good times.
Sure don't care who she used for content. This woman don't care who she used. She used people, places, and things. She don't give a rat's ass. She don't care. Whatever she can use, whoever she can use, dead or alive, she gonna do it for content. She's disgusting. Okay? Period.
Passing away, who is my ex-husband. Lacey and I got married long time ago in the year 2000. No, I believe it was 1999. It was 1999, I believe it was. It could have been 1998, but right up in there. That's when we first got married. We got married at a church called Deliverance.
Well, wait a goddamn minute. I thought she had been married like 28 some years. And she got married in, I'm not slow, it's 2024.
Mm-hmm.
How long was she married to him?
She stated that she was married. Well, I won't say married, but she did state, I think, that she was with that guy for 23 years. However, whether it was married or just dating, 23 years, and was with the what she referred to as her, which I don't understand why she does it. Her Caucasian husband, where I do know why she does it with her shallow, lame ass. She was with him for 7. So Lacey
Yeah,
23, the other
she
guy 7.
well, truth teller, we that's a lie right there. If you were married to this man for 23 years, y'all would have got divorced a year ago. Y'all got married in 2000. Because 23 years would be 2023 from 2000. And you had another marriage in between then.
Well, you got to think. She think when she says 23 years, I think she thinks all the way back to when they was going together, which would have been like 12 years old. I think they started going together when they was like 12.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll,
that's what I
I'll
think.
accept that one. Because I was actually taking her at her word that she was married to this nigga for 23 years.
Cathedral of Love by a pastor, and the pastor's name is Bishop M.
She remember
S.
all this shit.
Nasty.
Hey,
The name of the
order.
church is Deliverance Cathedral of
No,
Love.
she on Facebook. This is a Facebook live that we listening to. Just a Facebook live.
That's where we got married. And I did not know that Lacey was a church goer. I had no idea because
She met him at 12. She didn't know he was a church goer until they got married. Is that what she's telling us? She had a baby by him and everything and didn't know he was a church goer. So she never talked to him on Sundays. Like Saturday night, he never said, I got to get ready for church or nothing like that. All right. Skip it back, but okay, interesting.
Deliverance Cathedral of Love. That's where we got married. And I did not know that Lacey was a church goer. I had no idea because I had known him ever since I met him at 10. I got to know.
How do you meet somebody at 10 and not know they a church goer? From 10 all the way up to y'all got married, you didn't know he went to church. Unbelievable. Y'all never went to vacation Bible study or nothing. All right then. No Sunday school, nothing. Just all right. Y'all done had it. Well, y'all was just fucking. I get it.
Him around 11, and we went to the fair together when I was 12 years old. And then beyond that, he was my boyfriend up until
Met him at 10. They went to the fair at 12, and that was her boyfriend. She was fucking early. Little hot ass.
I found out that he had a church because I wanted to know him around 11, and we went to the fair together when I was 12 years old. And then beyond that, he was my boyfriend up until I found out that he had a church because I wanted to know, was hell and heaven real? Because I wasn't raised in church. So I was just
He was your boyfriend up until you found out he had a church. So I'm confused about this story.
I think she means a church. I think she means a church home. He couldn't have had a church at 10, 11, 12. I think she means a church home.
I get that. I'm confused on whether she knew the nigga was religious or not. Did she not find out until, because she's making it seem like that was his church home and she didn't know he went to church till they got married there. That's what I'm taking from it. I could be wrong.
Conversation with him one day when he picked me up from hair school one day. I was in cosmetology school already. And the administrator had asked me, told me, says you're going to die and go to hell, Cheryl, if you're not saved. So I was like, what's that? What is saved? I don't know what that is. We talking about people that go to church. Is that saved? So when Lacey picked me up from hair school, then I was like, Lacey, I said, do you know? I mean, do you believe in hell? So he was like, we were smoking. You know what I'm saying? Because back in those days, he and I, that's one of the things that we loved the most.
So a person that smoked weed before got the nerve to talk shit about people that currently smoke weed. This is crazy.
I mean, marijuana. I'm talking. We smoke. Okay, we were teenagers.
I gotta keep remembering this bitch 55, 54. So yeah, when this story happened, she was about 20 something. She had a baby early.
At the time, I had my son already. He was 2 years old, and so Lacey had the reefer rolled. We called it reefer back then, y'all. Okay, the reefer roll. So we smoking. So I said, "You believe in hell?" So
why did we need to know she had a 2-year-old in this story? This story is all over the place. First of all, she started off talking about the church that they got married in. Then she went to, I didn't know he was in the church.
Let me try to clarify because I've heard this story before. So I think when she mentions the 2-year-old, now mind you, that 2-year-old is his son. So I'm thinking she's saying at the time when they got married, they already had him because she had him. I think she had her son at like 15 or 16. I think she had her son at
Yes,
like 15.
15.
So I think what she's saying is by the time they got married, she already had her son who was 2 years old.
So they're married already. They got a 2-year-old son. He picking her up from school, and she still don't know he go to church. They married. I'm saying it don't look good either way. However we tell this story, it don't look good with her not knowing this nigga had a church because they got a 2-year-old. He picking her up from her school. They smoking the weed, and she asked him about hell. But are they married at this time or not?
Mm-hmm.
Even if they not married, they got a 2-year-old child, and she still don't know this nigga go to church. What the fuck? All you was worried about was sucking dick, wasn't it? I'm just saying this real shit. The way she telling this story, they got a baby already, and she just not asking this man about hell. She's never had this conversation with him. They done had babies. They probably working on. She probably pregnant while he picking her up to get the reefer. Cause I'm just saying, she probably pregnant then. While this story is being told.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, come on back to Facebook. You know what? It's been slow in the news cycle. Bring your ass on back to YouTube, sir. Keep on talking about Lacey. Give me something to do.
Yeah, but why are you talking about that? You blowing my mind. So I was like, and so see, I'm the truth teller. See what I'm saying? Now there's gonna be some people that clutch their pearls because they have.
No, we already was told that you smoke weed. We know. I ain't asked. Did Cheryl smoke a little weed back in the day? She tried to act like one of them. I've never done anything.
What's up, Tara, girl? Tara, I'm down memory lane, girl, talking about me and Lacey. Yeah.
And she said it so lovely. She touched her heart. Down memory lane talking about Lacey. So this is somebody that's a friend or a family member. And she's explaining to them how she going down memory lane to a nigga outside their family that violated the family. I'm like, I wouldn't have nothing to say about this nigga. She doesn't mind going public. She's not talking bad about him. She is remembering The good time.
I wouldn't even say, my thing is this though, Trey. I wouldn't even say talk bad about him because I wouldn't, but I'm because he's deceased. So whatever his past sins are that his sins, he got to answer for them in this moment. But what I'm
I wouldn't
saying,
say
I
shit.
wouldn't say. Listen, I'm not saying she should have came on social media and talk bad about him. I'm saying she shouldn't have said nothing.
Me
Her
too.
children, well, it's her children doing live streams. Like it's her children speak, cause that's their daddy.
Nope.
But as far as her, I'm just trying to figure out how she's making this about her. Okay, he was your ex-husband, man. You had another husband since him, and he violated your niece.
I bet it will. Monet don't. Well, she blocked me on Facebook, but yes, I doubt she said anything, and I'm sure Omni didn't say anything. I could do an extensive search and just actually look to see if they said, but they're the ones who should say something.
Once again, making a situation all about her when it's not about her.
Because that
Making
is their
to the
actual
form of
dad.
narcissist, making this situation about her.
Yeah, it's their dad. He was just a nigga that fucked you early. So it shouldn't be that. It shouldn't be. Well, I can't say it shouldn't be. If the nigga wasn't a pedophile, I feel you. You're still in love, but you're still in love with this man after you found out he was a pedophile. All these years later, you still were talking about how good the man looked and shit. Like you don't know he touched your family. Why was this nigga? How come, I just want to know how come this nigga wasn't locked up, his ass whooped or something? He was just allowed to continue to be a preacher. But you want to tell me how you got these hitmen that these what she call it, a something specialist that go around and can move around. But for me, talking shit online, but a nigga that actually touched your family, you ain't gonna use him for that. All right then.
Pearls, because they have what's up, Tara girl? Tara, I'm down memory lane, girl, talking about me and Lacey, yeah. And so he said, you blowing my high. Okay, Sandra, you listening? Okay, so he said, you're blowing my high, Cheryl. What are you talking about that for? I said, because the man over there at the school talking about, if I ain't saved, I'm going to a place named called hell. And so I'm thinking.
I think the administrator was a girl at first. And she got the iPhone because she put her thumb up and then the thumb icon popped up on the screen.
You can turn off this video. What in the world is they talking about? Hold on, y'all. Thank you, Tara. Thank you, God. Thank you, Tara. So what I'm doing, this live is almost like a journal, but it's done on a live in a digital way. And also, y'all already know it's for educational purposes, but you'll figure this out.
What the fuck is educational about this? What's educational about it?
Down in the live. But anyway, so he said that he knew that.
What did she teach us in this other than she was fucking the shit out this man, had a baby by him, and didn't know he went to church? He come to pick up from her school and everything. I already had it, but that ain't saying much. But did she graduate high school or did she drop out? Because I mean, she did have a child at 15. Did she drop out and she just went to her school and things of that nature? Did she get a GED? Like what? We got a lot of questions, sir. Hit the link. It ain't no link, but hit it. Hey, you can't even type in the chat because you blocked. So yeah, man, I'm just trolling any goddamn way. I don't have nothing to say to you, man.
Was real, he said. And
can we get a verification?
I said, well, you know what? So then I do in my mind, okay, so the man talking about hell, heaven, so then up in my brain comes church. So I said, well, I guess I'll go to a church and see what they say about it. So he says, I have a church. And then I say,
see, truth. She said, I need to go to a church and see what they say about it. And he said, I got a church. And she was like, what? You believe?
Yeah, but him saying I have a church, he didn't have a church at that time. They got a church together. So I don't know. Cause see, at this point, I don't know. Liar. I don't know.
Hell, heaven. So then up in my brain comes church. So I said, well, I guess I'll go to a church and see what they say about it. So he says, I have a church.
She's a truth teller.
And then I say, you have a church? And he says, yes. Where's your church? He said, over in Southgate. So he said, so you want to go with me to my church? I said, well, first of all, why you never tell me that you had a church?
How did you not know? Where the fuck did you think this nigga was at on Sundays? So you never saw this nigga pray. He never said grace for y'all 8 or nothing. Did you nothing in the time that you met him at 10 to this conversation when y'all got a 2-year-old? Did you ever know that he went to church? Just never. No, you never had any signs. He ain't never had no penny loafers or nothing. Truth. This is the chakra we have to sort through. As soon as you leave that Tasha woman alone before she beat you up, she looked like she could fight.
Girl, that woman
leave her alone.
She not finna do nothing to Steelers, and I said that, not nothing.
No, I said, them studs are violent.
That woman don't weigh but $130. Should have seen her angry tail down somewhere. Leave my Steelers alone. She better sit down.
Studs are violent, especially when they full of their alcohol.
I don't care nothing about her being violent. I don't care nothing about it. Don't care nothing about it.
I'm just looking out for Sinister's safety. I see T with the drink say, you know what? She said, I'm saying something back. I would listen to her. I would try. I had my phone on the charger, but I would listen to her. But I was trying to, with her videos, she be having words and little screens in between, so it'd be pauses. So I got to go back and watch and see the smart and the shit she was saying. You got a smart mouth, T with drinks. You do. I don't know if that's good or bad, but you got a smart mouth. It's without even saying nothing. That's crazy. You got a smart mouth, and we ain't never heard your voice.
Just the words.
You're sarcastic via text, ma'am.
Oh well.
Did he have a church? He had been to church for many years. He knew a lot about church, but he didn't tell me. And so Wednesday came, and he came over to my house in the evening like he always did, because we were together every day forever. Okay, and everybody know that. Everybody in Raleigh, they know that. What's up, Johnny X? And so he says, so he shows up at my house on a Wednesday night with a vest on, a pair of pants, a nice shoe, and
church on a Wednesday. So he ain't never do this on any other. So wait a minute. So none of this other time did he ask you, did you want to go to church with him? When y'all had the baby, his family didn't ever say, hey, you want to bring your baby mama to church? None of that. You ain't never had dinner with, because I'm talking about, I done had several little family dinners and shit. And at the time, I didn't know my, I won't say they're atheists, but at the time, I didn't know they were non-believers. So they were having the religious conversation with me, and we was having the gay marriage talk. And at the time, I was in my religious beliefs, like, no, it's no sin. Nope. That's where I was, and they was killing me with it. But yeah, I didn't know at the time. I do now, but I'm just saying we had these type conversations at family dinner, and that was before we got engaged. Well, her family, y'all ain't never had these talks ever. You never. Well, I guess. Now I can understand how you not knowing about hell and shit. You said you don't go to church because my kids are a couple of them the same way. The first two are they knew about church. Last two don't. First two, yeah, but they've also have been shown the other side and what they got going on. I don't know. I don't judge my own ass. I just showed them, since they were shown God, I was showing them the side that I have, and what they got going on is them. But I can get where you didn't know anything about hell and all of this. But damn, if y'all didn't talk at all, you never heard kids prior to that woman at hair school saying to you, you going to hell if you don't get saved. You never heard any of the kids saying you going to hell. And then we played sports, so prayer was part of sports. We said a prayer before the game and after the game, and now there's somebody got hurt. So it was, I don't know how you, I don't know, Cheryl. I'm confused on this one. You get it.
A shirt underneath the vest and everything. And so I said, why you dressed up? He said, Cheryl, did you say you wanted to go with me to my church? And I was like, I forgot. So I said, but you know what? I still want to go. So I got dressed, real quick, and tapped on my sister's door, Jamisha. And I said, I'm going with Lacey to church. Do you want to go? And she said, yeah. I said, okay, well, get ready because we're ready to go. Okay, so then we were 3 amigos on our way to church. Okay, so y'all, this live gonna be long, and I understand if y'all can't stay, but I'm doing a digital journal.
And she's smiling hard.
It's important to me. So we get over there to the church, and I noticed from the outside it's a big church, and we get in there, and this will be the beginning of my Pentecostal experience.
Wait a minute now. I just want to know how damn old is she in this damn story? He driving, she at the house to where she knocking on the door with her sister. Well, maybe her and her sister was roommates. I don't know, but I still need to know how old she was. Are we still in the year 2000 when they got married? I'm confused. Can't be why they was married, because I know they weren't staying apart while they were married. That would be asinine. Stories just all over the place. There is no coherent timeline going on here.
Also, once we look down the road, you'll see where my church trauma comes from. But this is the beginning of it. So first of all, we're getting there, and I'm just
doing all of this.
I'm just like a sheep. I'm unaware.
I am putting you on notice. I am reviewing all of this. Any journal you get to document your church hurt, your church trauma, and Lacey, I'm on all of it. Feel it. I'm on all of it. I am. Yes, I am.
Of anything, I'm a clean slate. I'm like a sheet of white paper, okay? I don't have anything. Nobody's taught me anything about church. I don't know anything about church. I don't know.
See who won the second. And I ain't doing the mobile app. I ain't mobile apping you. I'm a StreamYard you to death. The only way I'm a mobile app you is when I upload your Facebook just because I found out it's a cheat code, and that way I can get in the algorithm and get some subs and shit right quick when it's not even alive. Shout out to Raina with the fake lives, even though I taught her about the fake lives. But shout out to Raina for the fake lives, which showed me how to get in the vertical app.
Anything at all. Okay. And some people in my family might say that's not true because I took Cheryl to church when she was a little girl, but I don't remember any of that. Hey, Fatima, I don't remember any of that. The only thing that I remember is my experience at that time. And I was
him.
18, almost 19.
Okay. There we got clarity. We got an age now, 18, 19. She had a 2-year-old at the time. So she was 16. Okay. Raina, I ain't even talk bad about you. How you gonna pop out to me? I heard that shit. I ain't even say nothing bad. I said shout out to Raina. What the fuck? You can't even shout niggas out. You know what? Just because you did that, Raina, I got you. You know what? I got the picture still, nigga. I do. I'm gonna put. You know what? Just because you fuck with me, I got you. Let me make sure. I don't want to dox you. Let me crop your name out though. I don't want to dox you, but nah, I got you, G. I got you. Yeah, you should have stayed in the bushes. I don't know why y'all know I am petty and I be trolling. Truth, you still mad at me about the milk card? Say yeah, I'm gonna put it up.
Don't play with me, Troy.
I'm just saying.
Don't play with me.
Are you still mad about it?
I can be mad all I want, but put that card up there.
Where you at, Raina? Nope, it's too late. It's too late, Raina. It's a done deal. It's already been sent. It's already been sent. So yeah, it's too late. Once it's sent, it ain't no going back. Go back in the bushes, Raina. I love you. Go back in the bushes though.
Somebody gonna beat your ass one day. Ooh, what? Who is that?
That's Raina.
That is not Raina.
Yes, it is.
She gonna get you.
She was a stud back in the day.
That is not Raina. That is not Raina.
No, she used one of them. She used one of them Facebook apps. And that's what it pointed out to. That's why I say I know you lied, because she was like, hey, she was even shocked at what it put out. She looked like Lil Boosie.
Lil Boosie.
She was shocked. She came back looking like Lil Boosie. She was like, damn. But no, it's whatever one of them little apps on Facebook. I never used them motherfuckers. I saw a lot of people that was jacked up about their picture. But yeah, that's Raina. If she was a boy, that's Raina. If she was a boy. She about to spit at 16.
She look like she on a football team.
Not the Letterman jacket.
That's what that jacket look like.
Raina, see how Troop doing you?
I
didn't say nothing about you being on the varsity team. She did. She said you lettered in 3 sports. She said that. Man, she looked like she was about to wrestle you in state.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay.
I'm in the church. I hear the music. The music is going. You know, Jesus on the main line. Tell him what you want. Oh,
really
Jesus on the main line. Tell him what you want. Jesus on the main line. Tell him what you want. You can call him up and tell him what you want. Oh, yeah. So listen, all that's
going on. She turned back into a Christian again. Yeah, she was a McDonald's All-American cashier in 3 sports.
And everything. Hey, Tammy Brody. Church is going on. You got the drummers. You got the choir. Well, there's singers that are not probably not the whole. Why is somebody knocking on my door? Y'all hold on for a minute.
I'm doing my live. Stop knocking.
Hold on. Hold on.
She waddled over to the door.
It needs to be that person right coming to hit upside the head. That's what it needs to be.
Hello, Brianna. I was doing story time on Facebook, but I can end the live. I know y'all been busy. Yeah, I'm gonna end it. Let me turn the light on.
No, they actually asleep.
No, they ain't sleep. Hey, Raylan. You kissy.
Yeah, I love it. I'm because my key thing is broken.
Girl, your children visit you? No.
So if you could put it on my other thing for me,
I don't know if that's her kids or not, because they asked if which McCall.
If she said y'all and Raylan is there, that means that's her son and his girlfriend.
Oh, I guess
your
so.
son visit your house? Well, that's weird.
But that wasn't him that asked if Monet and them was asleep. That was a female voice.
I said it was her son and the baby mama.
We were just gonna. I'm saying brothers just gonna walk through that motherfucker. They ain't asking if nobody there. We gonna go see.
Come on. Mm-hmm.
I had Chinese.
Yes, girl. It was so good.
We should get some Chinese food.
It was so good. Listen, y'all, I'll be back tonight. Y'all come back for my live. Let me see.
We gonna be.
As soon as they leave, I'm gonna go live and finish the story. Y'all gonna want to be here for the story because it is juicy. Okay, it really is. I'll see y'all.
It's juicy. It's juicy, y'all. It's juicy. Let's see if she went back live. I'm bringing it to y'all. Whenever she do, though, y'all is getting the story, damn it. I'm here for it. Oh, no, that's not it. That ain't it. She has so many fucking pages. It's ridiculous. Nope. 4 hours ago, Cheryl's post, Reels 5 hours ago. Nope, she didn't come back. But when she does, we on top of it. All right, let's get into this Candace Owens Don Lemon thing. Remember, Don Lemon blew his deal with Elon Musk because he wanted to be a dick for the interview. Guess what? His interview style has not changed. Him and Candace Owens had a testy, and I do mean testy, interview. I think from what I've heard, I've only heard it's an hour long. I've heard about 7 minutes. I think both of them, and they were skipping around through the video. I think both of them made some valid points.
There are some things that you say I find, and again, I'll give you a chance to explain them, that I think that are divisive and may sort of contradict what you're saying.
So, your entire perspective has been pro-BLM, and your entire perspective on your network has been essentially that it was totally fine for the officers that were bludgeoned, the officers that were killed, the officers all throughout New York City in the BLM riots. You even had, Yale graduates.
We keep the focus.
Please let me finish. I just allowed you to finish. I just think it's nice to allow me to finish because I'm a guest on your show. Like I said, I'm just busy because I can't figure out whether or not you care about police officers.
Young people and old people who are trans, right? And they're not. And so what you're saying is, they are not.
You know what? I'm glad that they opened that can of worms, both of them, because Candace is citing religion. He's citing people aren't pretending. And I'm gonna have a question. I got a question for everybody when we get to that part of the show. I had thought of this question a couple of days ago and I actually forgot about it until this damn shit just popped up. I was trying to remember it earlier today and I couldn't remember it. Just triggered it.
it is not a mental disorder.
Oh, it is
They
pretending.
know.
You will literally never be able
They
for a
know.
little boy to grow up and have a baby because you're not a little girl.
So what you're saying is, oh, you know what? The Holocaust was bad, but look over here. These people were worse than the Holocaust, so we should.
That's not true.
See that person there on your screen. Actually, a lot of people have been saying that, you know what, you should get Candace Owens on. You should get Candace Owens on. So Candace, welcome to the show. I appreciate you joining us.
Anytime. Thanks for having me. I wish we had done it much sooner.
I do too, because quite frankly, listen, I know, this is going to be interesting for people. I'm not sure we're going to agree on much. Maybe we will, who knows? But I do have to say that I am happy that you are back in the game, because after you left your former platform, I said, you know what, I don't really agree with a lot from her. Sometimes I do, actually, but I think that you're deserving of a platform. And quite frankly, I think you're a bigger star than Ben Shapiro. And I've said that publicly before.
Like, share, subscribe, comment, hit the Cash App, hit the PayPal, join the membership, hit the Super Chat, buy now.
Again, doesn't mean that we agree on everything. So I'm glad that you're here. I've interviewed a lot of people. Also, Candace, I don't want this, if I can say this, to be, a moment where, people, you or anyone, we're looking for, this fiery moment that's going to go viral because people are going to click on it. I really do want to learn about you, and I want you to be able to explain some of the things that you said and whether you believe them, whether they were taken out of context.
Oh, by the way, Candace Owens has a video on the channel that's highlighted in blue. She has a response video to this interview, which is how I found out about it, because another guy was using clips from it as he was reviewing. So she has a response video to the parts that she feel like are hot spots of this interview. It's an hour long. Y'all go over there and check it out. And Don Lemon is also tagged, so you can go see this whole interview, because I doubt if we get through the entire thing.
Text or whatever. But can we start? Is that okay?
Yeah, I love that. I think that's really great. I just had a conversation with Russell Brand about the same thing. Like the left-right stuff is just getting really old and toxic. And I think we can all take each other out of context to make the other person look stupid. But I think people are more deserving of an actual conversation.
So I was going to start with the politics of the day, and we can always get to that because that can be kind of boring. But I mean, do you feel like after you left the other platform that you were on, do you feel different? Has your attitude or anything about life or your political beliefs, or has that changed at all?
It hasn't changed. I would probably say that I experienced more of an internal sea change at the beginning of last year, when I was still on my other platform. And I think people saw that toward the end of me being on the other platform. And there was just, and the show was performing really well and really strong. And I think it was because I had kind of broken with this idea that it's always like left versus right. And in a way that just welcomed more people into the show.
Wait a minute, Silas. I don't know why I'm just now seeing your video. Did Play Grubbin Head have a DV situation with Equal Q? Yes or no, did he? Ooh, I'm nosy.
Hi guys, how are you guys doing? It's your girl Silas Mukbang, the Mukbang Mr. Reporter here out on this YouTube stream. Now it looks like that, today is going to be all small, and some big reporting going on, because the YouTube street is like on fire. Can somebody please tell me what is going on with everybody? Well, here we have Player. Now for the people who does not know who Player is, this is Playground. P. I call it like that. So Player is the ex of Eat with Q. So the story that Eat with Q left his ex in the house while she went to Nigeria to attend a wedding. While she was in Nigeria, she have left Player in her house. When Eat with Q went back to America, there was a situation going on between her and Player, and even she have called the Popo, and apparently also have called Good Willie, Free Willie to take Player out of the house. Now, what is so particular about this video is that
Player couldn't put nobody out the house from a bouger. Also, the people that I forgot, she called herself showing pictures with bruises. This is the same woman that prides herself on being a makeup artist and creating characters.
No, let's get it right. She showed one picture, I think, if I'm not mistaken. If it was more than one, it was two. It won a whole array of pictures. And do I believe the pictures? No, 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 no.
She's a makeup artist.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's talking about the situation of P. Diddy and Cassie. You know, by the elevator, you guys probably know what I'm talking about, and the whole DF and all of that. But apparently, yeah, hearing player talking about it, I felt a little bit, strange, in my opinion, because don't forget, Edith came out and said, and even showed picture, that apparently Mr. Player, his hands was a little bit loosey-goosey too, but we don't know.
EWQ also said that she was great. Yeah, so I don't take credence in anything this woman said. Just her trying to ruin another black man's name. Silas did go live. Let me share this on my commune, not live, but she did an upload. Let me share this on my commune wall right quick. Y'all go check it out. I don't trust Q though. Nah, I don't. Damn it. Where is it? Where is it?
That it's always like left versus right, and in a way that just welcomed more people into the show. So I've personally changed, probably starting at the beginning of last year, I should say.
There were people who were saying, because you went on to the Breakfast Club, right? Mm-hmm. And they were saying, oh my gosh, Candace Owens is black again. She's going to come back to the black community and she's going to be black. And that's the way she's going to reemerge, much the same way that people said that I was going to be red-pilled when I came back to, whatever, the streaming and what have you. Is that, are you black again? Do you feel that? What do you think about that?
People are going to be so shocked to learn this, and I guess I'll just announce it here, but I've always been black. So it's like a thing. Every day I've just been black my whole life. And it was interesting to see people take that narrative, because some people were like, she was doing this because, she decided to be black because she knew she was going to get fired. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I went on the network because I got invited to go on for the first time ever. That was just my luck. And I think it was in response to me having done Joe Budden's podcast, and Joe Budden said something nice about me on his podcast, and I reached out on my podcast. So that was all very natural. And when I went on the Breakfast Club, I still said what I always think. I think people may have heard it different. And again, I think that is in large part due to the fact that Americans are growing tired of the hostility left versus right. And people are starting to listen to different ideas and seeing that we probably have more in common than the mainstream media would have allowed us to believe in the past.
Okay, you say that, but there are some things that you say I find, and again, I'll give you a chance to explain them, that I think that are divisive and may sort of contradict what you're saying. But before we get there, can we talk news of the day, politics of the day, and then we'll get into that? Is that cool?
Sure.
Can we do that?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start with the breaking news. The first Democratic senator publicly questioning President Joe Biden, his election chances, after 7 House lawmakers broke party ranks and urged the 81-year-old to step aside. It's Colorado Senator Michael Bennet. He told my old network, and he said this on the record, Candace, that he expects the president to lose to Donald Trump by a landslide, and he heavily suggested that Joe Biden should end his candidacy. So then, Candace, this happened on MSNBC. Let's watch.
Does he have your support to be the head of the Democratic ticket?
As long as the president it's up to the president to decide if he is going to run. We're all encouraging him to make that decision because time is running short. I think overwhelming support of the caucus. It's not for me to say. I'm not the head of the caucus anymore, but. He's beloved, he is respected, and people want him to make that decision.
He has made the decision. He has said firmly this week, he is going to run. Do you want him to run?
I want him to do whatever he decides to do. And that's the way it is. Whatever he decides, we go with.
Okay, so some people said, hey, wait a minute. She's not exactly saying Joe Biden, as many Democrats are saying that Joe Biden is in that. He is the candidate. We stand by our candidate, and she's not exactly emphatic about it. Do you disagree with that? What do you think?
No, she's not emphatic about that statement at all. But what I would say is that when I watch that, there's something about it that feels performative to me. And I think a lot of people feel that way, that suddenly everybody's pressed the button and it's like throw Joe Biden under the bus and pretend that we just found out at the debate that he was mentally deteriorating. I actually was covering today on my show how George Clooney, I don't know if you saw this, but he wrote an op-ed in the New York Times, essentially being very kind. I love Joe Biden, all this stuff. I saw him weeks ago at a fundraiser and he just wasn't the same and he can't go on. And he's calling for Joe Biden to step aside. And the question is, okay, you saw him at a fundraiser weeks ago. Why didn't you write this op-ed weeks ago? Why did you wait until the debate? So a lot of people are questioning whether or not there's already been a decision made and everyone already knows he's going to step aside and they're just kind of prepping the public on that statement. And I know might seem cynical to you, but that's definitely what it looks like to me. I mean, we've been saying this about his mental health for years. Why are people just listening now?
There is a difference, though, Candace, between something, and that doesn't mean that someone can do the job, but hear me out here. There's a difference between something that happens to people naturally, right? We all get older. I have trouble sometimes recalling things that I'm like, oh, what's that senator again? What's that name again? And that happens to the best of us. But there is a difference between that and someone who is, a perpetual liar, doesn't believe in democracy, or is an election denier. Those two things are not equal. And I think that is the premise of what Democrats are operating on right now. Joe Biden may not be the man he was 5 years ago or 20 years ago or 30 years ago, but he's still better than the alternative.
Yeah, obviously I fundamentally disagree with your assessment. And I think it's very strange coming from a party where Hillary Clinton denied the election results for years. And said that her election was stolen from her. It's very weird for people to suddenly just not remember that. Sometimes it feels like the press.
There was no insurrection around that. I mean,
well, now you're accusing him of the insurrection. He has nothing to do with.
No, I said, but there was no insurrection around that.
You can say that or not, but you just said he's an election denier. Okay, well, that would put Hillary Clinton in the exact same camp. And so it's very weird when there seems to be this sort of like Men in Black memory wipe where people pretend that suddenly Trump was the first person who questioned election results when that's been going on for a very long time in America and nobody cared about that.
Hear me out here. There's a difference between questioning an election, the results of an election, which happened with Al Gore and George Bush, than having almost every court in the land disagree with the assessment that the election was stolen. There's a difference between questioning an election than saying it was stolen. There's a difference between someone saying, I thought I should have won, and there were, I had all these wins that were, that were not at my back. Then someone saying, you know what, the election was stolen, and that these people are heroes who actually desecrated the Capitol and beat up police officers, and a police officer ended up dying. That's a whole different thing. Those two are not equal.
So your old network even debunks the points that you just made. Obviously, the person that died that day was Ashley Babbitt. The only person who died on that day.
My old network does not debunk that.
They absolutely. I covered it on my show. Even
no,
CNN,
I work there. They do not. They do not.
Well, I have my computer. Do you want me to bring it up live? The CNN article where they debunked that Brian, who you're talking about, the police officer, died that day. He didn't.
I didn't say he died that day. I said
okay, correct.
Died.
Let me finish this. You said he died because you're trying to make people believe that it had something to do with what happened. He died of a stroke, a completely unrelated stroke days later. So that narrative that was quickly pushed out by CNN was then subsequently debunked. So the only person that died that day was Ashley Babbitt, and Ashley Babbitt was a Trump supporter. So only a Trump supporter died on that day. Regarding the insurrection narrative, there are questions that still have not been answered that seem implausible to me. I happened to be on that day in DC, 9 months pregnant, and it's just stunning to me that that whole summer DC burned and nobody cared, and then suddenly people are talking about an insurrection and nobody is asking the common sense question of why the FBI, while they can lock up grandmas for having walked into the Capitol, some of these charges are heinous, absolutely heinous. You see these people on camera just for simply walking in at the beckoning of security guards who allowed them in, were put into prison for a very long time. So I'll ask you the question, do you think it's a legitimate stance or that it's legitimate that the FBI can't figure out who it was that dropped off pipe bombs the night before?
No, I don't think that any of what you said is very relevant because the facts speak for themselves. No, I don't think that it's relevant. I think talking about the FBI is really deflecting the attention from what really happened. You know, a friend of mine, Michael Fanone, was a police officer who fought that day, who had a heart attack, who had a head injury, who was beaten with flagpoles and beaten with sticks by people who were in that crowd. The officer who died of a stroke, you know, shortly after. I think that it would be tough to say that the stress that he suffered from that did not have something to do with it. Ashley Babbitt broke into the Capitol. It's awful that anybody died. Police officers, you see the tape on camera, telling everyone to stand down as she tried to enter. She was not complying. As people say, when police officers or officials tell you to do something, one should comply. And when she tried to break into the Capitol and defy the officers' commands, they did what they had to do, and she ended up dying. It's awful that it happened, but to say that she died, and I assume insinuate that it was because of some nefarious actions by the officers, I just think that is, you know, beyond the pale and does not actually fit a solid narrative of what actually happened.
Well, it's very dizzying. I'm actually dizzy right now because you know your entire perspective has been pro BLM, and your entire perspective on your network has been essentially that it was totally fine for the officers that were bludgeoned, the officers that were killed, the officers all throughout New York City in the BLM riots. You even had, you know, Yale graduates.
Can we keep the focus?
Please let me finish. I just allowed you to finish. I just think it's nice to allow me to finish because I'm a guest on your show.
But I want you to.
You had them throwing bombs.
Get him, Candace. Get him, Candace. Get him, Candace.
Literally Molotov cocktails in the very same summer that you're talking about the insurrection. Molotov cocktails were thrown into police cruisers during the BLM Floyd riots. He didn't seem to have the same sense of...
He want to talk about January 6th, but he don't want to talk about how Black Lives Matter did this shit for about 2 years straight. Yeah, he don't want to talk about that. Let's just say what the Republicans do.
Police officers.
We're not talking about BLM. Can we?
But it's relevant.
This is how you hear both sides, and he's not denying what she's saying is true. But this is how you actually hear both sides by hearing them argue. Because if you just listen to one side, that's all you're gonna hear is them talk about this side, insurrection. Well, hold the fuck up. Well, before insurrection, it was CVS's and neighborhoods and some more shit being tore up. Happened in Memphis. Niggas was robbing the goddamn gun store. They tried to break in the gun stores. They couldn't, but the pawn shops that had terrible security, they broke into them motherfuckers. Why? George Floyd had nothing to do with it. In Memphis, I don't know why them niggas was riding just everywhere throughout the city. They was tearing up shit. I got to arguing with one of my niggas because he was live downtown. Apparently when the chaos broke out, one of the police dropped the riot shield, and this dumb nigga is on live, holding the motherfucker, and then talking about hiding it so he could take it home later. I'm like, you stupid son of a bitch, you on live. And that motherfucker may have a GPS in it. They do bait cars and shit like that. What are the odds? A big ass shit. You don't think that officer knew he dropped his goddamn shield and that's his protection? Niggas is stupid. He blocked me. And they called me a coon and blocked me out the check. Well, I did say they should have broke out their pepper spray on them. Cause they was doing the most, but still, he was trying to keep the shield.
It was happening in the exact same city. Okay. And so suddenly, like I said, I'm just dizzy because I can't figure out whether or not you care about police officers or you don't care about them, because now you're sharing emotional stories and now you're cutting me off when I want to share one about a Molotov cocktail that was thrown into a police cruiser in New York by some college graduates, in the media platform that you were on cheered it on because this was about justice. But suddenly when it's patriots, you want to talk about the sad stories of the police officers. You're now saying that because you don't comply, you can get shot. That's fine if that's your perspective. And Ashley Babbitt wasn't complying, but then we should probably revisit the George Floyd riots.
Americans can be deemed as patriots in this country.
Okay, well, I don't know why you're cutting me off. I haven't cut you off. I'm just trying to get out my point.
I'm trying to tell you because we have very limited time. And the reason I'm cutting you off is because I want you to stick to the subject, because you're deflecting. you're talking about
I'm not
BLM.
deflecting.
And
I'm
hang
not
on,
deflecting.
please. Let me make a point across. And BLM has nothing.
What do you think so far, Truth? What do you think? She's sleepy, y'all. And y'all think she could have a Truth Hurst after dark at 12 o'clock? She sleep. That's what yeah.
To do with the insurrection. We're talking about the events that happened in Washington.
I just want to know what the definition of an insurrection is, because when I was living,
I said, what you think about what's going on so far? She whooping
Oh,
his
I didn't
ass.
hear it. I didn't hear it.
Now,
I'll be
they
right
just
back. I didn't hear it.
They just argued.
in DC and the BLM was pulling down statues, they were marching on Washington, the media was fine with it. So it's confusing because the Brett Kavanaugh hearings and the women were storming into the Capitol. They were lining in the hallways.
Dizzy now because you're
I'm really confused about when it's an insurrection and when it's not an insurrection. Because the Brett Kavanaugh hearings definitely looks like the definition of an insurrection when they were chasing down senators in hallways trying to stop them from voting. But for some reason, the media supported that because #MeToo. But again, I'm just trying to get a consistent definition of when it's okay to storm the Capitol building and when it's not okay to storm the Capitol building because it's an insurrection.
Because we're not talking about BLM. And
that's the problem. We're never talking about anything Democrats do.
I want to get back on the subject because this is not helping anyone.
Thank you,
This
Candace.
conversation is not helping anyone. So let's get
let's
back
move on.
That's what I was telling the
BLM,
clown.
what happened
We don't
is
never
nothing
talk
that
about
we
what
can
your
litigate that. We
side
can talk
do.
about that. This is not a conversation.
I'm not denying anything you say Republicans do. Where if people hadn't figured it out, shit. I don't give a fuck about politics. I just want to make sure people are fair. I don't give a fuck about Donald Trump. I don't give a fuck about Joe Biden. I ain't give a fuck about Obama. I ain't give a fuck about Bush. I don't care. Uninterested. This is people understand that it's complaints under both sides, it's racism on both sides, because both sides are majority white.
BLM. This is a conversation about what happened on January 26th, and this is it's not about Brett Kavanaugh, okay?
That's who need to argue Candace Owens, the truth. Man, we need to get Candace Owens to debate the truth. That shit there will be funny.
I just think that might be relevant to you.
There'll be one time the truth will say, nigga, please.
Okay, so do you believe the election was stolen? Because on July 21, you tweeted, this is July of 2021, you tweeted, quote, it has now been proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris cheated in the 2020 election. Do you still believe Trump's own Justice Department, the Supreme Court, courts all over the land said that there was actually no evidence to substantiate a stolen election in 2020?
Don, why the fuck does it matter if she believes it or not? What does that prove if she believes it? If she doesn't believe it, what does that prove?
Yes, I believe the election was stolen in 2020.
You do believe that?
Yes.
Okay. Why do you believe that?
Because it's pretty obvious that COVID was used as a mechanism to fundamentally change the way that people vote. They were passing through absurd legislation, essentially saying that every single person would get a mail-in ballot, even if they hadn't requested one. And then there was actually footage of people dropping off multiple mail-in ballots when the counting stopped in the middle of the night. So yes, I believe that our election was stolen. We don't have to wax poetic about it. We're not going to agree on this issue. You're going to get the talking points
No, I'm not going to get talking points. That's what I wanted to. I just want to get.
Yes, I still believe that.
Okay, great. Thank you for answering that. And that is where I want to keep this on the subject and not deflect to something else. And so, I don't work for CNN anymore. So, I don't associate me with that because I don't work for CNN anymore. One of the reasons that I brought up that tweet to discuss, 2020 election and beyond is because, do you think it's fair to say, I think that you've had a political evolution over the last couple of years. Do you think it's fair to say, I think that you've become much more conservative in your thinking and in your stance and things that you say. Do you think it's fair to say that you've become more outspoken and more conservative on issues over the last couple of years?
I think I've thought more about what it actually means to be a conservative. And I would say that I've probably become infinitely more committed to my Christian faith. And so that might read as more conservative over the years. I think that's fair.
You've been more committed to your Christian faith. How does that play into your thoughts about politics?
When we think about conservatism, we think about tradition, it's traditionalism. And when I'm thinking about which traditions I want to uphold, it's the Catholic faith, it's Christianity. And I think I've now been in politics for 8-9 years. When I started, I was young, I was single, I was running around wearing a MAGA hat. And now I'm a married mother of 3. And a lot of the conversations that we are having are heavier. We're talking about the future of this country that my children are going to have to live in. When we talk about any of these ideologies, we're talking about what they're learning in school today versus what you and I were learning when we were in school. And that has been a radical transformation. So it means more to me. And I think a lot of people, when I was pregnant with my first child, said, motherhood will change you, it will soften you. And I actually found that politically, motherhood actually hardened me.
How so?
Because I realized that these conversations matter. These are not just talking points. This is not somebody talking in a news hit. This is going to have real world implications for my children.
Listen,
and giving you one example of that would be the dawn of the trans indoctrination that you and I did not go through in school. That to me is a very severe thing. I think it's demonic, quite literally demonic, as in, worshiping Baphomet. It goes back a long time. And I'm going to use my platform.
You said worshiping what? I couldn't hear you, sorry.
Baphomet.
Okay, got it. Well, here's the thing. I don't know I'm not sure I would call it an indoctrination. I do believe that it's legitimate to say that you have questions about it because it's a lot to take in. I wouldn't necessarily call it an indoctrination. And when I grew up, there were definitely trans people. And maybe there wasn't an awareness of it in the world or the country.
Yeah, we call them cross-dressers.
At large, but I remember trans people growing up. I remember people who were cross-dressers growing up. My girlfriend's brother was a transvestite growing up. So there were definitely people who were out there who were part of the trans community. And I remember the threats that Chris got from my girlfriend's brother. I remember people on the street throwing things at him.
Your girlfriend's brother,
so I'm not sure it's an indoctrination. I think it's just maybe an awareness of things that happen in society. And that doesn't mean that the pendulum doesn't swing too far sometimes. But I'm not sure I would call it an indoctrination. That's all I have to say about that.
Well,
I just
mental disorders, and people that are suffering from mental disorders should never be treated by people harassing them or people yelling at them or calling them names. So I'm sorry that someone that you we stopped out smoking cigarettes because reverse course on that and saying like, no, actually cancer kills. They caused the caution that cancer kills. And now the majority of people who were smoking like crazy in the 80s are not smoking anymore. So we know that psychological conditioning works and that the majority of these 12-year-olds, 11-year-olds, 10-year-olds are not non-binary. They're just learning that as a way to be different, they can experiment with these things. And unfortunately, these have very evil results because kids are being put on drugs that are quite literally used on pedophiles.
Well, that's not necessarily so. But listen, let me just say that about I think there are a lot of things.
Pedophiles in prison that's being given to children.
There's a lot to respond to that as far as the indoctrination. If it was an indoctrination, then I went to a Catholic school, so then I would be, a straight male married to a woman who attends church every single day.
But you said you had a girlfriend back in the day, and you were talking about how your girlfriend's brother was a tranny.
any sort of indoctrination that was happening. So apparently the indoctrination at the Catholic school did not work on me, because I ended up being the exact opposite of what they wanted. The other thing is that the whole idea that they're giving young children drugs at an age, and the children are getting to decide at an age that they need these medical drugs for transitioning, that is absolutely not true.
What do you mean that's not true? You can get,
and also
you can get puberty blockers as a child. I had a whole person on my show.
But that's also with that transition from the family. And the family, you can get puberty blockers as a child, but the parents have to decide that. That's not
so they can get puberty blockers.
Who's decide? The parent and the child gets to decide that. So
okay, but that they should puberty blockers fundamentally alter them for life.
Disorder. You understand that it has not been, it's been deemed not to be a mental disorder, and you're saying that that you're. In your rhetoric, you're saying that it's a mental disorder.
It is a mental disorder. That's what I learned in school.
It's not a mental disorder.
If you're a boy and you're actually a girl, you are suffering from a mental disorder, obviously, because you can't actually change your sex, obviously.
I know plenty of children now. I know plenty.
You can play dress up, but you can't change your sex. I know plenty
of young people and old people who are trans, right? And they are not pretending. And it is not a mental disorder.
Well, it is pretending, because you will literally never be able, if you're a little boy, to grow up and have a baby.
Lemon, I would ask you and those people, do they believe in God? And if their answer is yes, I would then ask them, do they believe God makes mistakes? And if their answer is no, I would have to ask them, well, how are y'all saying y'all are a girl in a boy's body or a boy in a girl's body if God don't make no mistakes? Those are the people that should be the conflicted the most. Homosexual believers, they should be conflicted the most with out of all of this with the religion going on, because it's just so many things. If for this to be true, God will have to make mistakes. He ain't perfect or none of that, because they're saying that they in the wrong body. That's what they saying.
And you're not a little girl.
That I think that your views have changed over time.
Leave, and of course he.
Yeah, now that's some crazy shit. I don't follow that line of thought, because everybody's talking about it or they believe in it. So did you do that? Now you're a Christian now, Candace. It's a lot. You did this with Flat Earth. It's about as many people that worship the devil as it does that believe in Flat Earth. Did you go to devil worshiping? Did you become a witch? It's a lot of witches out here, about as many of them that are flat earthers. Did you do any delving into any of those things, man? That's why what you just said is stupid.
Pushed me on this, and he was talking about the earth curvature and science, and I said to him, listen, I'm not a flat earther, I'm not a round earther. Actually, what I am is I am somebody who has left the cult of science. I have left the mega church of science, because what I have now realized is that science, what it is actually, if you think about it, is a pagan faith.
Okay. Candace.
Yeah.
Do you actually believe this stuff, or are you saying it because you want to generate outrage and you want more attention and you want people to sort of click on your show? You actually believe that? I mean, science is science. What do you mean the cult of science? What do you believe? You're not a flat earther or a round earther? I mean, come on. Sometimes I think
they use science in the Bible, man. to track the seasons, to know when to plant and all of that stuff. God didn't tell them these things. They use science. They use science to build the pyramids and to irrigate stuff.
You're a very bright and very intelligent woman. And I said, is she just playing in our faces? Like, what's that all about?
First, let me ask you, did you watch the full episode or did your producers pull a clip out of context?
No, I did not watch the full episode, but I'm asking.
So let me put it into context.
Yeah,
no, sure. I'm happy to put it into context because that's the beauty of the media. It's just always a clip and then people go, oh, what's going on here? So that was an episode we were talking about birth control. I was sharing, I'm very passionately against the birth control because of all the women who in my life are suffering side effects and can't get pregnant and are realizing that inserting copper IUDs into your body over time can have an impact. And women were sharing their stories online about how the doctor told them it was safe and effective, and it obviously wasn't safe and effective long term because people just simply accept what the experts tell them without thinking. We saw this during COVID, so I'm very comfortable saying this. People, if I had been saying this years ago, people would have been like, she's crazy, but this is what we mean when we say science. And by the way, these ideas, if you want someone even more brilliant than me who wrote about this, C.S. Lewis would be a great starting place. He termed this scientism, where the people that are in control of science create a faith. They create a faith by saying, well, the experts say 6 feet social distancing works. And so everyone starts walking around with 6 feet social distance between them until Fauci comes around like he did recently and say, we kind of made that up. We were just guessing. The experts say the COVID vaccine, if you get it, you will not transmit or be able to get COVID.
Exactly,
and then they go, actually, that wasn't true. So people, and without knowing that, subjected their bodies and said, okay, I'm going to get this vaccine. Then they say the science has changed. Well, if the science changes and you've already impacted your body, as many women, I did not get the COVID vaccine and I'm not meeting judge people who did, but a lot of my female friends were having menstruation issues, as we talked about on the show. A lot of my female friends had miscarriages, as we talked about on the show, simply because they trusted the experts, not because they actually knew
you don't know that
the science was
you don't
accurate.
know for sure that they had a miscarriage because of the vaccine.
They had first and foremost, they've already admitted that the vaccine, we're now past COVID era scientism. So they've admitted that the 6 feet social distancing was fraudulent science. They admitted that the masking was
you
fraudulent
realize you're looking
science.
at something in hindsight. Hindsight is 2020 in your Monday morning.
Well, that's the point. And until you get hindsight, it's just a faith. And that is what I am talking about on my show. It is just a faith. People place faith. It was not a science, it was a faith. Okay?
You said a faith or faith?
So that's a faith. You just believe it. You can't see it. You trust the person. You trust this person who is a science, who's a doctor, who you've enacted as a word in your life, and you shouldn't do that. Common sense to me when I was a kid. Common sense to me when I was a kid, like when people were pushing birth control pills on me when I turned like 15, every time I went to the doctor, women who are watching this will relate. They're suddenly like, birth control, you got a pimple, birth control. So I didn't need to trust the science or the experts I just said to myself, yeah, probably not a good idea to microdose yourself with hormones every single day.
What does that have to do with a worldwide pandemic and epidemic where people were?
I'm answering the clip that you just showed. I'm putting this into context.
I know, but you're going.
Yeah. But because that's also what I talked about on my show. This is the beauty of actually watching a full episode and not using a clip. And so I said, now for me, it's going to require a little bit more than a faith, right? Because I'm realizing scientism just gets people to do things based on emotion without actually, and just going, trust the experts. I'm not trusting the experts on anything anymore, okay? I'm going to actually take a look at things and actually try to discern something by myself, because the experts have lies.
But isn't that based on emotion?
People's lives are ruined.
Well,
people got myocarditis. Kids died from heart attacks, and they admitted after the fact that they knew that could be a risk. And first, they gaslit the moms who were saying it happened.
And that is not true. But
what do you mean it's not true? There was a kid who won a lawsuit for myocarditis. He quite literally, if you can look this up on Yahoo News, myocarditis, he actually won. The government had to pay him. I believe it was in the Philippines, who had to actually pay him. And after that, you're saying that you're no longer a part of the establishment, you're doing your podcast, at least acknowledge the things that even they have acknowledged now, that it causes myocarditis, and that it can impact menstruation. Anything that is impacting
I
menstruation.
never said I wasn't part of the establishment, by the way. I said I did not work for CNN. Go on.
Okay, I'm glad you're admitting you're part of the establishment.
No, I mean, I don't believe that I'm part of an establishment, any sort of establishment. You would have to,
That was wonderful.
Is that I belong to some part of an establishment. I do not. But I also say the things that you're saying are also, that's based on emotion. And you're comparing a woman who can volunteer to take a birth control pill as opposed to a worldwide pandemic where people are dying. And science does evolve, just like the world evolves. And we learn more about things, just as the science around.
But Don, they had a federal mandate. If you work for a federal entity, you had to get the vaccine.
Cancer and HIV, that's all evolving and it's improving. So over time, science evolves, it improves. So I don't understand the obsession with people who say, oh, I didn't do this, and they feel really good about possibly even harming their fellow man by not wanting to do things that's supposed to help the greater good. To me, that is the most un-American and most unpatriotic thing that a person can do.
Yeah, well, actually, the most un-American thing would be Marxism, and that's a Marxist philosophy that you do things for the greater good, and it's fundamentally absurd. You should make sure that what you are doing is
just do things for yourself.
It's not selfish. It's not selfish. It's actually the opposite to say that you should inject something into your body simply because this person says so. And by the way, the
no, you don't. Here's the thing. Here's the thing that you don't understand.
To ask people to offer their bodily autonomy in order to maintain their job.
But see, I think that's false, Candace.
It is.
No, because there was no
mandate.
You did not have to order people. If you did not want to take the vaccine, you did not have to take it. If you don't want to take the vaccine,
and many people lost their jobs. OSHA tried to mandate it, and then they had to fight that all the way up.
You can voluntarily.
Okay, so it's a threat. We're not mandating it, but just so you know, you're going to lose your entire life and not be able to feed your family.
You have to lose your entire life.
I mean, that's kind of a little.
If I did not take the vaccine,
ridiculous.
I would not be allowed to go to school. So because why? I was putting other people's lives in danger. So
this is going to shock you, Don. My kids are not vaxxed. My kids are not vaxxed.
A lot of things.
And that's wrong.
But that's not a mandate.
That's wrong. That's why I moved to a state where there's medical freedom. And guess what? You can compare statistics in the states where they have the most unvaccinated children with states like California where they couldn't be more vaxxed. And so your entire philosophy that somehow the unvaxxed kids are harming the kids that are vaccinated is nonsensical, by the way. How can you say, in order for my vaccine to work, you have to get a vaccine? What kind of science is that? If your vaccine is working, then you don't have to worry about unvaxxed kids. You know, people are waking up to this.
People were vaccinated had high.
This is true. If they got the vaccine and I don't, they ain't got to worry about getting it. Just they got the vaccine.
Rates of death from COVID than other places.
That is simply untrue. That is simply made up statistics to justify the fact that they harmed a lot of people with not false science or evolving science, lies. They straight up told people that if they got the vaccine, they were not going to get or transmit COVID. They lied, okay? They knew it was a lie because it required censorship to maintain the lie. They were censoring independent voices who were saying,
with people filled with people who did not take the vaccine and on their deathbeds. You know what they said to me? I wish that I had not listened to the people, to the QAnon and to the non-vaxxers and to those people. I wish I hadn't done it because maybe I wouldn't be in this hospital dying.
Oh, that's so shocking that you were able to talk to people on their deathbeds. People were not even able to see their loved ones. The hospitals were so locked down. So how were they able to speak to so many people on their deathbeds in hospitals in New York City?
Wow, great point. They had limits. Family members couldn't get in there, but he was able to go in there and stick a camera in their face. Ooh. She whooping his ass.
No, this was not in New York City, as a matter of fact, and it was after the lockdown. It was at the hospital where I grew up in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And
yeah, it's quite shocking because they were not allowing in hospitals for people to even see their loved ones. You were able to talk to people on their dying bed.
Forget that there were.
That was their death wish, to talk to Don Lemon about the vaccine. This seems like one of those stories when they say, like, it just seems like one of those fairy tale stories where they say, like, on their deathbed, she said, I just don't really buy that. I don't really buy this, that you spoke to tons of people on their deathbeds.
Okay, this was after.
I'm gonna rate that false.
Okay, no, you're not gonna rate it false because all you have to do is go back.
Was it their last word?
Go back and look. No, their last words were not to me, but some of their last words were to me because some of them died after I left the hospital. It was not when we had the lockdown. This was shortly after things started to open back up. We could actually travel on planes. We could leave our houses, and there were still people in COVID wards. And I interviewed them when I worked for CNN, and they said, I wish that I had taken the vaccine because maybe I would not be dying. And their loved ones afterwards, they said that on their deathbed. So what you're saying, I think, is completely
Well, I just want to share a story too. I too was allowed as a journalist into hospital wards, and people said to me on their deathbeds, I wish that I hadn't taken the vaccine because it didn't work and I'm still dying on this deathbed. So I had the same thing happen to me.
It didn't work and they're still dying.
Yeah, I got the vaccine and yet somehow I'm still on my deathbed. So clearly it didn't work. So that was that. I don't know. That's what they shared with me on their deathbed.
Okay, so if they wouldn't,
I was allowed into a hospital.
Well, that doesn't make sense though, because how do they know if they didn't? If they didn't get the vaccine, what difference?
They did get it, and they were still put on ventilators. So the vaccine didn't work, and so I'm a journalist. They allowed me into the hospital wards, and that's what they told me. And I was working.
How were you able to go in the hospital wards? We were on lockdown. They got to talk. I'm just being facetious here.
I know.
It goes both ways. Okay, so this is a quote from you, right? After you said that you're leaving the cult of science, okay?
Yeah.
And I'm going to play clips. I know that you want people to watch the full episode.
I'm fine. I'm happy to put them in context.
Clips, and you said, quote, no matter what, if there is a bunch of people who believe something, I now want to know what it is. So in the spirit of all of that, and if we can do it quickly here, right? Because I know that you're very busy and you have things to do. So I want to know, and you can tell me yes or no if you agree or disagree, because some of these things are deemed as conspiracy theories, like flat Earth or rounder. I know that you said maybe that was taken out of context. So I'm going to say if you agree or disagree. These are not clips; these are just quotes. The 1969 moon landing was staged in Arizona.
I 100%, after reading this book, Chaos, believe that the moon landing was a complete and utter ridiculous hoax on the American people. I used to not believe.
Ladies and gentlemen, the technology, they didn't have phones back then. They do now. They ain't able to get their ass back up to the moon. They got FaceTime and shit. They didn't have that back then. They ain't been able to get their ass back to the moon. They want you to believe that back then they had the power to call from the moon down to Earth with no delay. There was no delay. StreamYard's got a goddamn 6-second delay. In fact, most of the streaming software that you use comes with a delay built in. It's called latency. They was talking to each other clear as hell from the moon to the damn White House. First long distance call ever. No problems. It just went off without a hitch. This is what they'll have you to believe. But then in 2024, they can't get back. Cars is driving themselves now. Drones is making deliveries and all types of shit. Tesla got his own damn rockets. They ain't able to get back to the damn moon. They asking Tesla and other motherfuckers to build ships to get them back. They lost the information. This is what they want y'all to believe. They've said it. They've gone on record to say they lost the information that got them to the moon with them big ass old computers and shit. Oh no, sorry, wrong button.
An utter ridiculous hoax on the American people. I used to not believe. I actually always had an instinct about that one, and then I read a lot into it, and I was just like, okay, this is actually kind of ridiculous. It's like the Easter Bunny for adults, you know?
Okay.
Yep.
All right. The U.S. government was behind 9/11.
No, I don't believe the U.S. government was behind 9/11.
You don't? You think it was just as
I looked into it, but I don't.
Not as reported. Obviously, not as reported. I did a whole episode on that. People should watch it.
Okay.
There's tons of things.
I do believe they capitalized off of it to be able to take care of to take over them poppy seeds in Afghanistan, the poppy fields, because shortly after 9/11, we had an influx of opioids, and we were guarding the fields. But all of a sudden, we started producing the shit out of opioids. We don't have any poppy fields.
It's still up online.
The world was hooked on Percocets.
Okay, go ahead. People can watch it. All right. The mass shootings that have been faked to promote gun control laws.
No, I don't believe.
We didn't destroy the fields. we protected them. At least the Taliban, when they said they were taking back over, they made growing this shit illegal and they started destroying crops. We could have done that, but no, we guarded them. And all of a sudden, opioid epidemic. If you look back, didn't Frank Lucas kind of have the same little system going from over there shipping the heroin, which is made out of poppy, opium?
You don't believe that? Okay. Barack Obama was not born in America.
I don't even know where that one comes from. I don't know anything about that conspiracy theory.
No, I'm just asking you. Well,
yeah.
You don't know where it comes from. I mean, Donald Trump.
I literally don't know where it comes from. I mean, I was quite young, like as in like I was in 2008. I hadn't even voted at that time, so I didn't follow. I guess the best way to say is I was in college. I didn't follow the Barack Obama Kenya thing that went on.
I mean, that was beyond 2008. The birtherism thing with Donald Trump.
I didn't. I was not at all engaged in politics. I was in college when he won, and I
okay.
Do I seem like a dishonest person? Would I not tell you if I followed it and believed it?
If you didn't follow it and you don't know that, but I'm surprised that you, as a journalist and someone who is so opinionated, that you haven't done research on that. But if you haven't,
well, you're inspiring me to. I will.
Okay. The CIA killed JFK.
Yes, I believe that.
You do. Why is that?
Yes. Because there would be no other reason for them to lock down the files for as long as they did, and then come up with a stupid Russia did it thing that long. The only time you would lock down files like that regarding a sitting president being shot. And by the way, if they knew Russia had done it, we would have gone to full-blown war because they would have killed the sitting president. And also because, and this is a very interesting fact that I learned in this book, Chaos, that people should read and actually become very informed about this. The individual that shot the individual who shot JFK, his name was Jacob Rubenstein, was subsequently MK Ultra. That was a government program in which they had realized that if you give people a cocktail of drugs, you could essentially not brainwash them, but you could you could make them crazy instantly. They could give you schizophrenia instantly. So the doctor that was behind that, Dr. Leslie, this is all a fact, by the way. This is not like these are declassified. The guy, the reporter who worked on this for 22 years of his life working on this was Tom O'Neill. So I know you're laughing, but I'm encouraging you to actually read it. It could just be something you didn't know. The book is called Chaos, the CIA, the 1960s, and MK Ultra. And they MK Ultra'd, admittedly, in the documents, they MK Ultra'd Jacob Rubenstein, which is why the judge, on the day that he appeared, the second day that he appeared, said, what happened to him? I was speaking to him totally fine yesterday, and now you're telling me that he's legally insane.
But what I want you to know is, and I think the book is called Chaos, as you said, people read it. Some of the things that you're mentioning and the names that you're mentioning have been written about before, and just as maybe you weren't aware of the birth certificate, the other things, perhaps you weren't aware of the investigations that have taken place before that.
You just can't shoot a president in jail, like in broad daylight, and then we pretend we don't know who did it. That's just that. You have to be a conspiracy theorist to believe our government had nothing to do with the shooting of JFK. That's my viewpoint. It's too ridiculous.
Okay, I'll disagree with that because I just don't. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Do you take offense when people call you a conspiracy theorist?
Do you think what?
Do you take offense when people call you a conspiracy?
No, because I've studied the history of psychology in this country, and I know that that term was actually entered into the American mindset after the shooting of JFK. They started using the term conspiracy theory to make people get off of their tail or not ask questions by making it seem like it's crazy to want to know who shot a sitting president in broad daylight. So on my show, I cover a lot about the history of psychology and propaganda. Edward Bernays, who's considered the father of propaganda in the United States. And you will learn that terms like that are meant to make you think that there's nothing here. You're a conspiracy theorist. And it's common sense that the government would not hide who shot a sitting president unless it was done by the government. I think that's pretty obvious.
Yeah, and quite often the answer is the most obvious. Sometimes things are just conspiracy theories. Okay, so listen, there was, to be honest with you, we had this debate and discussion about whether or not to do this interview today because of something that you said on your show. And members of my staff took offense to it. I actually took offense to it. And I did not watch the whole show. I saw the clip. But on your show, and I'm going to play the soundbite, and I want you to explain it, because you said specifically you were commenting on Dr. Joseph Mengele, right, and the experience, his experiments on prisoners in Auschwitz. And you said this, and I want to get you to explain to the audience what you meant. Here it is.
On innocent people, Candace. Come on, that's the difference. They experimented on twins. I mean, some of the stories, by the way, sound completely absurd. I mean, like the idea that they just like cut a human up and then sewed them back together. Why would you do that? Literally, even if you're the most evil person in the world, that's a tremendous waste of time and supplies. Just slice a person in half and sew them together. That just sounds like bizarre propaganda.
Okay, so, but you know, what you're saying is based on what you feel, again, as you say, you know, based on feelings rather than fact. There are so many facts to support what happened with Dr. Mengele. I wonder if you understand just how harmful it is for you to say things like that when there is documented evidence of Mengele's experiments. It is documented. It is not propaganda.
So would you like me to put that clip in context? Because
Sure,
I think
yes.
it's really relevant. Sure. So first and foremost, I said they, which would probably indicate to most people that I was speaking about more than one person. And the show was about the things that we learn in school, the most horrific things that we learn in school, and how I will show you that what we did in America is actually worse. So the truth is that they, the Nazi scientists, were brought over to the United States after the war, an operation known as Operation Paperclip. And the experiments that took place thereafter, they, the United States government, conducted way worse experiments. So chief among them being Sidney Gottlieb, who I spoke about on the show extensively in terms of the experiments that were enacted on our troops. Again, that terrifying book will really wake you up to what these Nazi scientists who were told are so horrific that we brought them over. The big piece, by the way, the reason why they cut out those 4 seconds and didn't talk about the entire monologue is because most Americans don't know about the other Holocausts that took place in the world, right? We can only talk about the feelings, talking about your, you know, how people felt and your staff about a 4-second clip. Well, why don't you go talk to some of the Christians and maybe ask them how they feel about how it feels that when we talk about the Christian Holocaust, which is what this episode was about, the 12 million Germans that were ethnically cleansed, you know, the Bolsheviks who mass murdered Christians, Henry Kagoda, who was the greatest mass murderer of the 20th century, who put us in the concentration camps. Suddenly the media gets mad and they take out 4 seconds and they, again, somehow make it about Jewish people in the Holocaust. That's not the only Holocaust that happened. And I will use my platform to speak about the atrocities that Christians face, and I will do so unapologetically. So if you're looking for an apology for me saying that the idea that the Nazi scientists did this, and it was so horrific that we then decided to bring them over to the United States, you're not going to get one. You know, I'm at a place where I'm really tired.
I didn't ask you to apologize.
And the history of what was done to Christians. Okay. I think it's time. I think it's okay.
Well, if you're not asking for an apology, why in the fuck did you say that you and your staff were offended? Who gives a fuck if you were offended? You still doing the damn interview.
For us to talk about the Christian Holocaust. 2024, let's talk about the Bolshevik Revolution and what they did to Christians.
Okay, a couple different things there. I'm not asking you to apologize. I just wanted to know what you meant by that. And what I heard in that clip had nothing to do with what you said, because you said you thought it was ridiculous, the method by which Dr. Mengele was doing his work.
I didn't say Dr. Mengele, I said they. So
Okay.
Right there, you're live editing according to what Zionist media who were upset that I talked about how Israel protected the mass murderers.
You think what let's just specifically, you think what happened with Dr. Mengele is true? You believe that?
There were definitively experiments on twins. I specifically said we were told, and I don't even think they still say this, by the way, and you can fact check this, that they cut, and I didn't even say a twin. I said they cut a human being, right, and then they sewed them back together. I don't know how this became about Dr. Mengele's twins, as the media just goes off and says whatever they want. I don't think they still say that. There were a lot of things that we learned, and I'm talking about in this episode, that have since been updated, and have people say that, okay, it wasn't that part that was true. The correct thing is what's happened. I'm not sure. I mean, you can definitely fact check that, and you should. I don't think anymore they teach that somebody was cut in half and then sewn back up like an individual. I don't think so.
I think that they still do teach the truth about what happened.
No, and it's not.
Let me ask you this. Why do you feel the need then to defend Nazis or
Nazis aren't alive anymore, so we got to stop calling everybody a Nazi.
Why do you feel the need then to sort of go down this rabbit hole and to defend something that was horrific and to say that, you know, why are you comparing what happened in the Holocaust to other atrocities? Because it's awful. Why can't you just stick with the Holocaust? And
why can't I cover Christian
You can't
history.
talk
What
about-
is
why are
this?
you
What do you mean
defending-
stick with the
Why are
Holocaust? What do you mean
defending
by
those
that?
people's actions? I don't understand that. There's
But
no
nobody
way-
defended any actions. That episode was about the fact that after the war, and this was a BBC documentary, not a Candace Owens documentary, it's a BBC documentary, and I played parts of the documentary. It talks about how the Allies committed atrocities against the German-speaking civilians. They were not people who voted for Hitler. They were not Nazis. They were children who were lined up and shot. Their bodies were thrown on the ground while they were alive, and they were rolled over on cars. The footage is in the BBC documentary. It's called The Savage Peace. When people watch this documentary, they are so astonished and shocked that we didn't learn about it in school that they begin asking real serious questions. And one of those questions that you ask is, why are we not told about the mass killing of Christians all around the world? What you just said, like, why can't we just let it be about the Holocaust? What is that? Well, that's the most selfish thing in the entire world. Let me finish. The most selfish thing in the entire world is for me to spend an hour talking about the atrocities that innocent Christians who had nothing to do with Adolf Hitler faced, and then to have Zionist media talking heads somehow make it about the Holocaust. It's not about the Holocaust, okay? Christians suffered too. In fact, we are the most persecuted religion in the world. And I am so sick of it. I am so sick of there can only be one victim narrative.
Come on.
And if you start
I am
talking
a
about
and we are not
Christians
the
are
most
not
persecuted in the world. Come on.
That is a fact.
Let me
What are you
just say,
saying?
you know what it
We're not
sounds
the
like?
most
It
persecuted in the
sounds
world.
like
You know
to
what's
you-
happening in Armenia? Do you know what's happening in Nigeria?
let me
Do you know what
tell
just
you-
happened in Canada? The
Let me tell
fake
you
story
what
that was propagated by all of the mainstream networks about the nuns. They found the mass burial, which allowed 85 Catholic churches to be burned to the ground in the last 3 years in Canada. We are still being persecuted right now.
Okay.
So I take great offense to you coming in here about the sensitivities of the people that are working on your show when I'm sitting here telling you that I'm a Christian and
Well, I
I'm
think the
offended
sensitivities
by
of
what you're
people who are-
saying,
who are
and you
working on
laugh.
the show, I
You
think
mock
that's
Christian
very,
persecution.
very important
Do you think people
because-
should laugh when someone tells you about Christian persecution? Because let me tell you something, if I
I'm
had
not
done
laughing.
that,
I
I
think
just
it's
laughed
laughable.
about the
I don't think it's
Holocaust,
funny.
I would be
think it's
chased out of polite society. Then don't laugh.
She
Don't laugh at
whooping
Christian
his
persecution.
ass.
Don't do it.
Laughable is that the name is in the term. It's laughable.
Do not
But let me just
laugh.
say that
You
it
literally
sounds
just
like,
laugh
Candace,
when I
what
talk
you're
about
saying
Christian
is-
persecution.
what you're
Don't do that
saying-
ever again. Not in my presence.
What you're saying is, okay, Candace, thank you. So what you're saying is, oh, you know what? The Holocaust was bad, but look over here. These people were worse than the Holocaust, so we should.
That's not that. First off,
That's what it sounds like. I'm telling you, that's what it sounds like.
You just said you didn't watch the episode.
No, but I'm saying that's what it sounds like. That's what you're saying. I don't have to watch the episode. I was listening to the words that you just said. You just spent 3 or 4 minutes talking about the other atrocities and how bad they were.
Yes,
You're not
the
talking
other
about how bad
atrocities that
the
have happened in human history outside of the Holocaust are things that we are relevant and allowed to talk about, especially when the numbers of Christians that were persecuted following the Russian Revolution and the manner in which they were killed, people that were beheaded, priests that were shot. Yes, it is. I can talk about Christian history, and I don't need to feel guilty about that, and I won't.
That's
Okay.
fine. All right, good. You don't have to feel guilty. You don't have to.
And please, genuinely, please,
Yeah. Okay, so
never,
listen.
please, when I come on your show, have enough respect not to laugh when I talk about Christian persecution, because you would never do that if I was Jewish and I was talking about the Holocaust.
You can't tell.
You would
people-
never do that.
You should have enough respect to know not to tell people how to react. You can't tell someone not to laugh.
Okay. Oh, well, then I double dare you when a Jewish person is talking about persecution of Jews to laugh. You won't do it.
I won't do it because I actually believe that there were persecution of Jews,
And you don't believe that Christians were
let me finish my
persecuted.
thought. I believe that there is persecution of Christians. I don't think it's the most persecuted religion in the world. Okay, so listen. Do you? So listen.
They had the Crusades, my G.
Consider laughable. Good, you agree with me. Thank you. So listen, when you know what happened with you at was a Daily Wire, right? Is that the network you were on? What happened with you at the Daily Wire because of your stance on what's happening in Israel and Gaza, and what you just explained. My question to you is, because people think that you are you anti-Semitic?
No, I'm not anti-Semitic.
Go on.
Go on with what? You asked me a question. I answered it.
You said
I don't need to
you're
launch
not
into defense of
anti-Semitic.
myself because I'm just not anti-Semitic. There's nothing I here that I need to add. I guess today anti-Semitism, the definition keeps expanding, and now I guess it means if you don't fall over yourself every time Bibi Netanyahu speaks, they're just going to call you an anti-Semite. Nope, I'm a Christian. Kids being bombed is upsetting to me, and I have a right to say that without being called an anti-Semite. And if you want to call me an anti-Semite for it, I simply don't care.
I'm not calling you an anti-Semite. I'm not, because people call you that, and I think, look, if you, there's the whole talk about Zionism and anti-Semitism and whatever. I think it's a conversation that you just can't win. But I would like to for you to be able to explain yourself, because
Judaism is not Zionism, and it doesn't matter how many people insist that it is. It's just not. It's a political party, and it puts the interests of Israel above everything else. I grew up with Jewish people. Jewish people are my best friends. This is the nation of Israel is not Judaism. It's a nonsense to suggest that we can critique, as we did earlier, talking about Joe Biden, that we can critique our own president and nobody cares, because we should. You should be able to hold leaders in their decisions and their feet to the fire. And then to say that if you do the exact same thing over what Bibi Netanyahu's actions are, then you're somehow anti-Semitic.
Okay, I understand that, and I don't disagree. I think you can criticize and analyze the actions of the Israeli government, the IDF, and also Bibi Netanyahu. But to say that, listen, I'm not anti-Semitic because I have Jewish friends. It's kind of like saying I have black friends. I don't think that actually helps your argument.
No, I didn't say that. What I was saying is that I have Jewish friends. Judaism is not Zionism. As in, I have friends who are Jewish who don't support what's happening overseas.
Okay.
Judaism is not Zionism. They don't stop being Jewish because they disagree with what Bibi Netanyahu is doing.
Okay, you say that you're not anti-Semitic, but I can't tell you what's in your heart. I believe you. You said that you're not anti-Semitic. You don't believe that you're anti-Semitic. But there are anti-Semites and neo-Nazis. They do love you. And I want to play this clip. This is from Nick Fuentes, his show just this week. Watch this.
One other big development, Candace Owens did a show today. She did her show, and she talked about my beef with Jordan Peterson. And so I really appreciate her covering it. We love Candace Owens. She's beautiful, she's very intelligent, and she is really hardcore. She's been going off.
Does that bother you that, and that's the whole reason I said, it looks this way, and maybe that's not your intention, as you said, but it looks this way, like you're saying, hey, don't look at what happened with the Holocaust, look over here. But if you have people like Nick Fuentes that said, hey, we love you, whatever, maybe your message isn't hitting correctly. What do you think of Fuentes saying?
Well, now you're just conflating.
His neo-Nazi audience love you.
Sure. So now you're just conflating things because you're still kind of trying to sell this narrative that this somehow is about Jewish people. But Nick Fuentes is talking about, which is the first time I'm seeing it because I don't watch Nick Fuentes nearly as much as apparently everybody in the mainstream media does. What he's talking about is what I covered on my show as a news item, which was Jordan Peterson and him having the back and forth. Or Michaela, Dr. Jordan Peterson is, by the way, very lovely, a very kind person, but it was a very newsworthy item when Michaela and Peterson, being his daughter, called for censorship. Called for straight up censorship. She's like, we need to have censorship, anybody that uses the term filth. And it was a back forth between her and Nick Fuentes because he responded and he said, your father literally called me a rat last week. This was a trending item on Twitter. I covered it on my show. To the extent that Nick Fuentes enjoyed the fact that I covered it in a meaningful capacity, because it is problematic when anybody calls for censorship. I don't care if the person's on the left or the person's on the right. You will make an enemy of me because I support the First Amendment and I believe that we have to have free speech. What can I say about that? It's an absurd thing for people to keep pretending. I'm a person that has across social media 10 million followers. And when you start getting desperate because you can't actually pull something that I've said, you start going, well, what do you think about this account? And this person has also said this, and this person likes you. If you did that, and I was then accountable for the words that every single person that followed me said, there's no way you can survive that. I could do that right now to you. I could have had my producers, look at this person who follows Don Lemon. They've said something against Black people. So Don Lemon, it's like, that's a ridiculous thing to say. But to the extent that you asked me, and this has happened before, as Piers Morgan did, he said, this is some things that Nick Fuentes has said. Do you agree with it? And I said, no, I don't agree with that. Yeah. Hold me accountable for what I actually said.
Well, that was the reason I asked you about it. Because
but you showed me.
This is not a gotcha. I'm asking you.
But that is such a gotcha. That is such a gotcha to say it's nothing that you said, but let me show you this person who likes you. Because what you're trying to do is play this strategy with the public so they watch it and they go, well, she must be saying all sorts of things if this person likes her. Most people do like if you're going to say something on their show and you're showing the back forth that, he's obviously going to say, look, Candace covered this issue in a way that's consistent with the beliefs of the First Amendment. So he may say something that I fundamentally disagree with. But if Nick Fuentes says 1 + 1 = 2, and I agree with that, that doesn't mean that I subscribe to everything Nick Fuentes says. If Nick Fuentes says only women can give birth, and I agree with that, you then go, oh, look, Nick Fuentes is celebrating you because you said only women can give birth. I mean, you're smarter than this, Don. You're in the public sphere. We cannot be beholden or responsible for every comment that is made by people who support us and follow us.
Well, that's why I put it up there, because if someone like Nick Fuentes was saying good things about some of the things that I believed or what I said, that would actually be problematic for me. And I would want to respond to that. I would welcomed the opportunity for Candace Owens to play that clip on her show so that I could knock it down and say, I don't believe in anything Nick Fuentes or any of his followers or viewers or whatever. I don't understand why they are happy with what I said, but this is what I believe, and this is the context.
I do believe that it is problematic that Michaela Peterson called for censorship. So I can't knock that down. I can't say, like, what do you want me to say on the show? Well, because Nick Fuentes agrees with that perspective, I'm now anti-speech. That doesn't, I believe in free speech. I believe that what Michaela Peterson said was wrong. I genuinely believe that.
Okay.
Like you can't just call for censorship.
I've got to ask you about this because this is from your old show. And as I said, there are some things, I mean, you've actually defended me before. And I was like, wow, Candace Owens, whatever. And there are things that I do where I say, you know what, Candace got it right.
Yes, she agreed with you, although she vehemently disagrees with most of the shit that you say. But she agreed with one point. So for somebody that would be like her coming on and saying, Don Lemon agreed with one thing I said, but I don't agree with shit Don Lemon said.
I like it. And there are other things I'm like, oh my gosh, why is she saying that, right? And this is one thing that I've been wanting to ask you about, Candace, because it really bothered me. But I want the explanation in the context, as you say.
Do you have any clips of anything that like you agreed with, or we're just gonna like pretend this is a friendly interview as you think like, okay, this one.
No, they don't have.
Is there even one clip of something that you agree with?
No, he doesn't have one. That wasn't part of it. You the ops. Of course not. He can't agree with anything you said, even though he's done it several times in this interview.
I don't know. Maybe I agree with the next clip. But anyway, roll the next clip, please.
Bring shame back. Bring back saying you are disgusting, you are wrong, you are a hoe, you are a pervert. Call things for what they are. And that is another way that they've psychologically.
I agree with that. Shame brings change.
Tried to transform speech in America by saying like, oh, okay, you have free speech, but if you say that word, if you say like, oh, that's whack or that's gay, then that would make you a homophobe. You don't want to be a homophobe, do you? It's no, we shouldn't do that. And I think that the disappearance of words that actually had real meanings, like growing up, majoring in English, reading old English novels and understanding that a word like is a real word, it means a bundle of sticks.
Okay, so listen, I believe in free speech, right? But I also believe that free speech comes with consequences. So the word you said was right? Is that exactly the word? So what did you mean by that? You think it's okay to say the word to call people to their face?
No, actually, I said words have meaning. And so when you start allowing the perverts to dictate speech, then words just have to go away. And as I said in that clip, when I was growing up and I was reading English novels, when people say you're walking through the woods to get it meant a bundle of sticks. And then they said you can no longer say this word that has a real meaning, right? A bundle of sticks, because some pervert took that.
Shout out to them for bleeping the word out for me. But yeah, they're saying the F word and not fuck.
And threw it as an epithet towards gay people. I think that's actually, that's a wrong way of thinking, because then what you're doing is you're allowing perverts to dictate society. So I don't like the death of the English language because people are getting offended. So that's like, I could pick any word. I could say, plant. And from now on, every time I see a gay guy, I'm gonna be like, he's a total plant. And then eventually they say, you can't say plant anymore. It's like, no, this is a real word that has meaning. Attack the person who's perverting the word, but you don't suddenly disappear a word and you say you can no longer say it, or you can no longer read these Virginia Woolf novels because the word has been perverted. I think that's a backwards way of thinking.
Read Virginia Woolf novels, and the only people I know who are trying to ban books, Virginia Woolf and other books that even say the N-word. I mean, it's conservatives. That's who's trying to do it. I don't think that you should be banning books. But I do know, Candace, that language evolves over time. And when people say that word to me, they're not calling me a cigarette. They're not calling me.
Obviously, that's the point. It has a context. So if you want to punish that person because they're saying that offensively, that, if you feel that this person, but it's not fair to then say to everybody else who's not using that word, that this word has now been banned. I just think that's ridiculous. That's my point.
You think people?
I don't think you can suddenly say go backwards and delete words that had real meaning because someone has perverted it, because it never stops. It just becomes constantly having to update the language for people's feelings. And I don't think that we should be doing that.
So you would never call me a my face, right?
Well, why would I just randomly call you a
I'm just meaning.
Have you ever seen the Louis C.K. skit on? Have you ever seen the Louis C.K. skit on?
No, I like Louis C.K., but I don't think I've ever seen a skit on.
You should watch it.
Yeah. No, but you would never call like a gay person that to their face.
It seems like an absurd. Like what? No, I'm not just going around. I'm a 35-year-old mother. I don't go around being like, "Hey, you're." It's just like I'm not 18 years old. Like I'm not going around calling people names. Period. I wouldn't go up to a fat person and call them names. Wouldn't call. It's just like it's an absurd thing to be going around pointing and calling people names because I don't like them. I would no. So the answer is no. I would not.
Do you use the N-word?
No, I don't.
No. Okay. Here's something interesting that we may have some common ground on. Okay.
That's because she don't have no black people to use it around. She don't be around no black people.
What do you think about same-sex marriage?
It's a sin.
You think it's a sin? So you think I'm sinful?
What's that?
You think I'm sinful because I'm married to a man?
Yeah.
You do?
Yes, you're sinning. You are in a sinful relationship. I actually don't believe marriage can be between two men. So I don't.
It doesn't make you a bad person, but it's a sin on the face. She's a sinner too. If it makes you feel any better, Dawn, she's a sinner. She's not perfect, so she sins every day. So you can sleep well knowing that.
But you understand, though, Candace, and maybe we're not going to agree on this now. I thought we would. Do you understand, though, that the same...
You thought the Christian woman who's been telling you how she's Catholic and Christian this whole life was going to agree with you on same-sex marriage?
Bible verses in the same scriptures that are used to call same-sex marriage sinful are used to call interracial marriage sinful. As
that nigga is lying. There is no verse in the Bible that says interracial marriage or dating wrong, an abomination. It's just not in there at all. This nigga just made up some shit.
To call same-sex marriage sinful are used to call interracial marriage sinful as well. And so there are people who would say that you are in a sinful marriage.
Can you tell me which verse it is that would make people say?
The thing is that it's actually not there, and that people twist the Bible verses. That's my whole point. Thank you for proving that, because it doesn't say that, and it's actually, you're going to say Leviticus or whatever. It's not actually.
Why would you do that then if it doesn't say that? She actually can give you a scripture where it talks about same-sex homosexuality. You didn't actually have a verse, so you said you just made up some shit. This is Democrats for you, ladies and gentlemen. Democrats.
What Leviticus says, but go on. I don't want to get into specifics about the Bible, but that's not what the Bible says. It's just people using
the Bible does call it an abomination, sir. You're not getting past it.
Interpreting scripture in a way that they want to interpret it. So, look, you can believe whatever you want to believe. I don't believe that I'm in a sinful marriage, but there are people who believe, Candace Owens, that you are in a sinful marriage because you are in an interracial marriage. And I say that.
But that's not in the Bible, though. That God did not say that at all. So why would they think that that's a sin? Sir, what you do specifically was listed in the Bible as an abomination. He ain't saying nothing about black men and black women marrying the opposite race. He didn't say nothing about marrying the opposite race at all. Nope, nowhere in there.
As someone who is in an interracial marriage, so I am doubly sinful.
Yeah, I've never heard anybody make a biblical argument against people being married that are black and white. So that's why I said, can you just tell me?
You just made that shit up.
Is obviously a sin, but I've never heard a biblical argument. I'm happy to learn. I honestly, I'm happy to learn.
Sodomy is not just for gay sex, right? You know that, right? Sodomy is.
Yeah, it's a sin always, by the way.
Yeah, it's a sin between, it can be a sin between heterosexuals as well.
Yes, that's correct.
So, okay, so, but you've never heard that interracial marriage was sinful?
I've never heard somebody make a biblical argument.
He's never heard it.
I've never, and that's why I'm saying if you could present that to me, and if maybe you're familiar with what verse that
not
was.
a biblical argument. It's also a religious argument as well, more so than anything, that you're in a sinful marriage and that black and white people should not be married.
I mean, I'm obviously very aware that people could think that ideologically, but I've never heard that biblical argument made ever in my life, and I'm happy to be proven wrong here, but I think you made that up on the spot there.
So by saying that, no, I didn't actually. But by saying that you believe that I'm in a sinful marriage.
If he didn't make that up on the spot, he wrote it down.
Does that mean though that I should be discriminated against?
No, I've never called for discrimination.
So you believe in the separate of church and state? Then?
Heterosexual couples can sin as well. I mean, I hope that you deal with that. I want you to be Christian and to understand why it is that sodomy is a sin and what else it yields in society. You know, I believe that marriage is between a man and a woman.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean that you believe that I should be discriminated against. I don't
believe
I should be able to have, under the Constitution, you believe that I have the same rights as you and other heterosexuals, and that my marriage is just as valid under the Constitution as anybody else that's included.
Well, I believe that the problem became, that gets into a deeper theological discussion, but like the government should have never taken marriage away from the church. It should have been something that was maintained as a church practice. And so a lot of things happened there when the government took over and began marrying people, because then the arguments became, well, you get a tax break if you're married, and that is a way longer discussion that we can have on a different day. But to answer your question, I would never want any person based on their sins to ever be discriminated against, ever. I mean, I don't believe in discrimination. I don't believe that people should be treated differently. I think people should get help, you know? And like we were just talking about with trans indoctrination, I believe that's a mental illness and people should seek help. But I don't believe that they should be discriminated against. I would never be okay with that. I mean, I have people that are, you know, gay and lesbians in my life. I have cousins who are lesbians, so it's not, I don't have hatred in my heart.
You have Jewish friends? You have gay friends?
You're trying to be funny.
Do you have gay friends? I want to know.
Yes, I actually don't have, like, I really kind of feel like I only hang out with my family right now, so I'm a little, I've got 3 kids under 3, so I don't really have friends right now, but yeah, sure.
No, seriously, you don't have gay friends?
Well, I have gay people in my family, so yeah, that's the extent of my friendships with gay people.
Are you homophobic?
What the fuck?
No, seriously.
You're such a...
So if you don't have any gay friends because y'all have nothing in common, because straight people are, especially males, straight males are judged for hanging out with homosexual males. They just are. So because she said, yeah, I got gay friends, they're in my family, are you homophobic? What the fuck? You just cannot win in society today. Homophobic because he ain't got no gay friends.
I thought you would say, of course I have gay friends.
You're just such an absurd thing. First off, the person that you're just an absurd human being. Are you homophobic? Oh, I was just like, what does homophobic actually mean? Can you give me a definition of homophobic? If I was homophobic, would I be doing like this show? Do you think I'm like scared? I'll get like, oh my God, look, there's a gay man. I'm so scared.
Not at all.
Have a phobia is like to have a phobia, fear of. Like, you know, you think I fear like 2 gay men that are walking down the street holding hands? Like, and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so scared. I don't fear anything but God. That's it.
Yeah. Well, I don't think God is to be feared, but anyways, I'm just surprised that you don't have any gay friends. Because So listen, I actually enjoyed this conversation. I think people who disagree with each other should be able to talk and hash things out. So I hope
Did you enjoy it?
100% I enjoyed it. See, I think people think that conversations should be easy. that people should agree with everything. I have a different perspective on life. I have a different worldview than you. Many things you say I don't respect, but I respect you as a human being. And I think that the only way that we are going to make this
I see why she went off on your ass on her own. Because you just ended it with, you say a lot of shit I don't respect.
Experiment work.
She said the same thing about that Jonas guy or Fuentes, the Nick guy you were talking about. Same thing. She said, I don't agree with a lot of shit he said, but I agree with him on this point. And you want me to condemn him because he shouted me out because I agreed with something he said.
Is if at some point we try to at least have consensus on something, and sometimes the least of that consensus is being able to at least talk about it and go away saying, you know what, we agree to disagree. You know?
I think that's fine. I believe in more speech, not less. So you will not make an enemy of me if you're talking about the right to conversation. I very much believe in it.
Candace Owens, thank you for appearing. I really appreciate your time. Thanks.
Thank you so much. It was great.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I got for you tonight. Tomorrow, I just got to upload as soon as I end the live. I'm not going to lie to y'all like Q did. As soon as I end the live, I'm going to upload the Cheryl Grabowski, because I got the first one when she told us Lacey died. I did not know she did one the next day explaining why she don't like funerals, even though she don't have to go to this one. So that'll be the mobile looking live in the morning. And then I'll figure out what we're going to talk about tomorrow evening at some point in the day tomorrow. That's all I got. Truth, you got anything if you're still up? All right, y'all. Until the next episode, we out.
So cold, but I'm so hot. Dope boys. I'm up in the trap, I'm dope boy. With them knives. The game so cold, but I'm so hot. Same old shit, still on the block. Same young nigga came up in the trap. I'm dope boy, fresh with dope boy not. Dope boy, fresh with dope boy not. Dope boy, fresh with dope boy not. Same young nigga came up in the trap. I'm dope boy, fresh with dope boy not. The game so cold, but I'm so hot. Same old shit, still on the block. Same young nigga came up in the trap. I'm dope boy, fresh with dope boy not. Dope boy, fresh with dope boy not. Dope boy, fresh with dope boy not. Same young nigga came up in the trap. I'm dope boy, fresh with dope boy not. I'm dope boy, fresh with dope boy not. 1,008 gram, headed straight to the block. Pirates, this water walk till it's hot. Listen double up, turn a little to a lot. Right hand on the cell phone, taking orders. Left hand 360 motor to a lot. Blue hollow tips, got switches on the dot. State game, true sippers can't be stopped. Laughing at you haters while I'm thumbing through the paper. Says long at the bottom, won't you meet me at the top? The nigga ain't shit, yeah, get that a lot. Won't be deterred and I won't be stopped. Shaq Diesel number one, I post up on the block. 24/7 cause the hustle don't stop. 31 flavor, take an order like a waiter. I be selling more gas than a local truck stop. 1,200 strong, 4 pounds of the Zop. Got me shining, I'm a star. Ask about me, I am legend. They gon' tell you who we are. Fuck these niggas, fuck these bitches. Get money, all I know. No love for these bitches. Never saving these hoes. The game so cold, but I'm so hot. Same old shit, still on the block. Same young nigga came up in the trap. I'm dope boy, fresh with dope boy not. Dope boy, fresh with dope boy not. Dope boy, fresh with dope boy not. Same young nigga came up in the trap. I'm dope boy, fresh with dope boy not. The game so cold, but I'm so hot. Same old shit, still on the block. Same young nigga came up in the trap. I'm dope boy, fresh with dope boy not. Dope boy, fresh with dope boy not. Dope boy, fresh with dope boy not. Same young nigga came up in the trap. I'm dope boy, fresh with dope boy not.
When I'm thinking about the past, yeah, gon' get some nice gang, we at the spot. If we ever was short, then it's back to the block, you probably get shot. Every day the sun change, we getting money, that's one thing that's never gon' stop. Real dope boys do what it takes, playing high stakes, living to die. Do your time, keep it quiet, no matter who you are, don't get what you got. Stack it up, that's the bond to stay fresh. Oh, they think that you're not. Take a roll with a hoe, they gon' let you go. Somebody's gonna say you ain't hot. Just invest in yourself, don't worry about nobody else. There ain't no handout. If me say the same, put it on the chain, let them see you ain't tied down. Got a couple rain, did a lot of things, I ain't really gon' talk about it. Give me a trade, get you some go, she gon' show up and show out. So don't ask me what a dope at, cause you already your ground.
The game so cold, but I'm so hot. Same old shit, still on the block. Same young nigga came up in the trap. I'm dope boy fresh with dope boy not. Dope boy fresh with dope boy not. Dope boy fresh with dope boy not. Same